rolling like a geezer. No, I am the father. No! No! No!
That's about the best editing you're going to get out of me on short notice. But everybody, welcome to the award-winning ensemble show, Graybeard's Studio. I am, of course, one of your four hosts, Aaron Lopresti. You guys, I gave you a chance to do Star Trek. You've been begging for Star Trek. I give you a chance, and what do? You vote for the thing that everybody claims they hate, Star Wars. So anyway, here we are. We're going to save the Star Wars universe, but I cannot do it alone. So let me bring in my co-hosts that are going to help me today. Everybody put your hands together for, some people call him Baby Yoda. We just call him David Williams. There he is. Hello, David.
I'm so disappointed in the people in chat.
I know David and I were like getting ready for our Star Trek, and it just, wow. I don't even know what to say. Gary Martin is never at a loss for words. So let's welcome him in here, Gary. Welcome to the show.
I'm going to come clean. I voted for Star Wars.
Get out.
He's probably the vote. He's probably the vote that flipped it.
Yeah,
right.
boot him out.
1%, wasn't it? 1%.
Yeah, it was. It was like 1% or less than 1%. It was tragic, really. Speaking of tragic, let's bring in Kelsey Shannon.
Nice segue.
Yeah, I don't know how to come back from that one. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the vote this week, and I didn't know what. So I'm just trying to do a little research on Starlight. I don't remember the villains in here.
Starlight.
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'm familiar with that
Starlight
one. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's important. I think it's important that we recognize, first of all, that the show you're watching right now was voted everybody's favorite ensemble show in the CG universe. So thank you all. We appreciate that very much.
And we'll do our best not to live up to it.
That's exactly right. We're going to bring the show crashing all. We won't even get nominated next year.
Prove them wrong.
But I think one of the more important awards that were awarded out, and of course we're referring to the Nobody Gives a Darn Awards, or what are they called? Gosh darn awards. What are they? Anyway, Kelsey Shannon won for Best New Talent. And
that's
confusing. Have you guys seen the length of this guy's beard? He's been around forever. Kelsey,
I should be Best Old Talent. I mean, come on. I don't understand that. There's a few things in those awards. I did catch up with them the other day, and I saw Best Colorist, of course. I'll accept that humbly.
Okay,
thank you.
There you go.
Our Best Ensemble Show. That's a great one. Of course, we deserve that one. And Best New Talent, or no, what was the other one? For the Best Cover. I believe that there were two covers that weren't even nominated that I feel are the best. I mean, I could be a little bit biased. But
hang on a second. I won for Best Cover, pal. So
that's what I'm talking about.
What's your step?
Shenanigans.
Oh, okay. Here we
go. Because I did the Battle Brick Road cover, which I think was one of the best this year. And I'm going to give it to John Malin because I believe his Black Riding Hood was a fantastically designed cover, and it wasn't even nominated.
Wow, you're dissing.
You remember that cover?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, of course I know the cover, but you're dissing me live on our own show. This is horrible.
Well, it's just the truth, Aaron. I mean, It stings, I know. You know.
Did
But
you
hey,
get
you should feel,
hijinks and tomfoolery.
just feel glad that we weren't even nominated and you were. So, you know.
Okay, so now you're going to say it's a popularity contest, right? And
It's no competitions, no competition.
oh my gosh! Wow,
I didn't even get nominated for best black guy.
Well,
yeah,
you
where's
did.
the best black guy award?
David nominated. He was the only one nominated, and he won. So
I thought David won for the best.
No,
black
and I
guy.
lost apparently. G Money won that. G Money won the best black guy, and I was like, "What the?"
that's because you keep spreading the legend.
He's been doing good this last year.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Kelly just came in and rolled her eyes and makes him being too loud. So
Okay.
closed the door and stuffed a towel underneath it.
Let's put our indoor voices on.
That's right.
Okay, now we can talk like this. Today we're going to draw some Star Wars villains.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let me take a moment here and address the chat. The people that have so kindly decided to join us today. Halder 6480 is here. Corum, he says, put a chick in it and make them hot. Schism, hail to the beards of gray. Let the force charge you. Kelsey, check out Darth Talon booty for the win.
I tried. I couldn't find it. Maybe it's
No,
on
none of us have
OnlyFans.
ever heard of that character.
It could be on OnlyFans.
Mr. K is making stuff up. Schism, never forget the red. There will be a lot of red in this show. Yeah, you're going to be a tough time using your power color of green, I think, in this one, Kelsey.
My new power color is gray, the color of Empire. We'll see how that works out.
Spambot says sexy droideca. It is. Who are these characters?
Is that another one? Is that an actual character?
I never heard of it.
Droideca?
I don't know. Henry Jeremick, Star Wars villains, so very close to Star Trek villains. No worries, though. I like Star Wars as well as I like great characters. So there you go.
These characters must be from the JJ arc of Star Wars.
I guess they must have, which I'm really sort of out of touch with that stuff. Nabotes says he wanted Star Trek. First time I could draw along in months, but I have an idea for Star Wars, so he's going to go for it anyway. Brian Norton, of course, dropping the Kathleen Kennedy joke. Skull Nasher, Repairman Jack, Dan, the Pizza Man Genovese's here. Spambot, Wizard Sleeves. Why stream when people are working? Well, we're not, so that's why we're streaming.
People are always working.
That's true.
Not us.
Yeah, we're never working, but
That's right. So we're doing it at our convenience, not yours.
Kelsey, you want to help me out with this pronunciation here?
Bibbly Bear.
Okay, that's
Bibbly Bob. No, I just saw a character.
You're worse than me.
There was a character named Bibbly Bear. That's an actual thing, a comic book character. I got to find out where I just heard that the other day.
Bibbly Bear. Well, look at that.
Bear.
Okay, Bibbly Bear versus Bibbly Bob. Bibbly Bob. Bibbly. I see. I can't even do it.
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca. Yeah.
David Pentecost comic book art. How about that? Hope to at least catch a few minutes live. I hope you just did. Kevin Thomas is here. He'd love to see Dengar, Bossick, Thrawn, or even Jason Solo. Is it anybody ever heard of any of these characters?
I know Thrawn. Thrawn is great, but he's just a blue guy in a suit, basically.
No, make it easy. That's your new power color, blue.
He is one of the best villains. I mean, he is great.
Toshiro says Kelsey will do Darth Helmet, no doubt.
Oh, that's a great one.
Nordic Nerd is here. Fainal Life is here. She says, who did this? The whole point was to see if, in fact, Aaron would be great at this and still get beaten by David and Kelsey, but now you ruined the fun, chat. So that's all a roundabout way of saying that, I was kind of pushing for Star Trek. And
do you actually want to take that on, that the pressure of that everyone would expect you to win, and if you don't, that would be like a legacy failure?
I am so confident now that I've won best cover. And,
okay, all right.
I don't know what I do.
No living with you.
I wouldn't know what to do with a Star Trek villain. I mean, Abraham Lincoln, is he?
Yeah,
wasn't
you
he a
could,
Star
well, no,
Trek?
he was a good guy. But there's
Okay.
there was that big molten rock guy that was in that
You
episode.
could do
That'd
the
be easy.
evil Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could do Evil Kirk. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we can't. Thanks to you guys. You guys, Spambot, Solitary Rain, George Bonnie 90 is here. Timmy Mello is here. Citizen Ronan, Crash 9. Christina Lynn's joining us. Thank you, Christina. Marcus Killer Group, purveyor of all things pop knowledge, pop culture knowledge, is here. Let's see. Who else? Normandy Nerd made it in. Thank you. Let's see.
Normandy Nerd.
Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here. He says, good. Star Wars is much better at Aaron Lopresti. Is it though? No.
Whoa, that was canon worthy?
Yeah.
Pretty easy to get the canon today.
You don't diss Star Trek, okay? You just don't. And I guess the whole chat, I should blow up the whole chat because they voted for Star Trek, which is a huge diss on Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's just the truth, Aaron. You're having trouble accepting the truth.
No, I guess I do today. It's all about that. Dad's Den of Pop Culture's here. Solitary Rain, How to Draw Comics by Dan Lawless is joining us. How about that?
Hey,
Check out Dan's groovy YouTube channel where he does all this instructional stuff.
He's been killing it lately.
He just did a Frazetta draw stream that's extremely awesome.
Yeah, he's like, you want to draw like Frazetta? It's easy. Watch this. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. I think, you're going to draw. Okay, Dan, you're going to draw Frazetta with all these witnesses. Yeah, good luck. And then he's like, and I leave to get something to drink and I come back and I'm like, dang.
Yeah, at least make us feel better. Start off with like a Jusco maybe or something. I mean,
work your way up.
Yeah.
Work up to it.
Yeah, make us feel a little better about ourselves. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Reverman is here. Let's see who else here. Bill Weist, thanks for joining us. Bill, I mailed your book out today. Just remember seeing it go by my desk. The Georgie Gypsy, Mr. K. Angela Curry is here. She says, hey, gents. That's very pleasant of her. Thank you. Leg kick for $2.
Angela setting the tone.
Yeah, being nice. What about that? Leg kick for $2. Thank you for that. He says, we will be disappointed like every week, Aaron. Oh, my God.
Damn.
Just get that out of the way so, we don't have to have expectations.
I guess. Man, Henry Bemis is here all the way from Oregon. Let's see. Anybody else in here that I haven't mentioned yet? Stippling Vaughn's made the trip. Caleb Reynolds. Omer Glitch is here. Iodine 74. Neil Orr is here. Zaid Comics. Of course, that's Phil Diaz. Thank you for the $10. He'd appreciate that. Says, hey, Beardos. Yo, Aaron, super excited. I got my mailing notification for Wraith. That was Shelly's doing. She went ahead and mailed yours out ahead of other people. So, Phil, you got special treatment. So hype for that book. Speaking of hype, I'm loving that D. Whams is doing the work he's doing on Fearsome. What's up, Gary? Kelsey, too, I guess. There we go. That's what I like.
That's pretty nice. He mentioned all of us, but you got the dough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
no way, baby.
Daniel Russell said he voted for Atari Force.
I haven't seen it. If I do it, he's going to die. Jetta Jaga is here. Patty Q is here. Daniel Russell, there he is. I don't see his comment, though. Levi Skeen. Is that like a brand of jeans? The new Levi Skeen collection? I don't know, but thanks for
It's a whole skein of Levi's.
I see.
Yeah.
There's Amanda B. Now, Amanda B., wasn't she involved in the awards?
I think so.
I don't know. Amanda, would you?
Should blame her for
I should have made a
win.
special category for her.
No, I was going to thank her if she was involved, for.
Give her the cannon. She voted for you.
Yeah.
You're going to be insufferable all year because of this.
Rand Arrington is here. Chimera is here. Let's see here. We got everybody. Chris Giuliano is here. Bully Badger. David seems like the kind of dude to float smelling pies like a cartoon. What does that even mean? David seems like the kind of dude to float smelling pies like a cartoon.
And when the the aroma of the pies like lifts the character up in the air.
Oh,
drags them.
wow, Gary with an interpretation.
Fart can do that too.
Yeah,
but
that's
no
my
way.
fantasy.
Oh, I don't know.
Pie farts.
You there's Art of Roy. He's here as well. Hey, you guys, and he's a monster. Hey, he's a monster. You made some comment about some original art or something about in Comicsgate Kings like a week or two ago towards me about a piece of art I was supposed to get you, or I have no idea what you're talking about. You're going to have to expand to enlighten me. So you guys, please hit the like and subscribe so we can continue to grow this now the most popular show on the internet. So,
Officially.
I should ring the bell every
Officially.
time you mention that on
That's
this
right.
podcast.
every time I mention it, an angel gets his wings.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, you gotta grab that little clip or something. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to. But anyway, so gentlemen, let's do a little round of show and tell here, and then get drawing our much anticipated Star Wars villains. Baby Yoda's a villain, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Jar Jar certainly is, right?
Yeah. God, good.
Hope everybody's cool with that.
I don't know if I could bring myself to draw him. David, do you have something you want to show?
Show Gary's first.
All right, Gary. Ooh, there's a little Gary Martin action there. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I just shared this recently. There's a couple of pieces that I put up for sale on Comic Art Fans. I think I've shown this before, but it's now available. And it was obviously it's a Michael Golden recreation.
What do you think Michael would say about this?
I don't think he'd like it.
Yeah.
This piece struck me as complicated simplicity, that there's so much going on, but every aspect of it is readable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Zoom in.
again,
Let's
it
check
just-
the work on those chains. Let's
Yeah,
I know, right?
check that chain work out.
What kind of maniac would design a character that's got chains all around him?
I don't
I
know.
remember
Neil Keown
Having
comes
to
to
draw
mind.
it.
I remember when I saw this because it was on a trading card, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh
And-
yeah.
I was like, what a freaking original design and concept. Who would ever think to do a Spawn card like that? And yet Golden did it, and it's just unbelievably cool.
yeah, and just like I said, all the detail is very readable. I mean, he's amazing when it comes to storytelling, and you're able to take your time and soak it in, and you don't have to figure out what's going on. You see it immediately, and then you start looking at, I mean, just the bones and the rib cage and all those skulls, just the incredible attention to detail and all that stuff. It's just
And unlike his lies about doing everything with a brush, you actually did this with a brush, right?
yeah, that's true. This was all brush. And then the other piece,
Mm.
this I did a couple years ago. It's a excuse me, it's an Art Adams recreation, and I think Art did this just as a cross-hatching exercise, because that's what took all the time.
I heard there's no bras in the future
Yeah,
in Star Wars. There's no bras.
the reason why I took it on is that Art has a lot of different cross-hatching patterns that he uses, and this is one where my patterns tend to be flat, or they grade from light to dark. This one has depth and shapes in it, and different values within the dark, and so I'm like, okay, how did he do that? And that's why I did it. And Leia happens to be in the middle of cross-hatching.
Yeah, I did this for the cross hatching. The bonus is Leia.
Exactly.
What did you do the background with all that cross hatching?
El Brusho.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I cross-hatch with the brush.
Crazy,
So,
man. Crazy.
You tried to emulate like the black areas the same way he did, so you had the exact same texture that he did?
Yeah.
Ugh, jeez.
because he uses a pen, and his control with those pens is crazy, and so I tried to mimic that with my brush. But like some of this stuff, obviously like on the gun is ruled. That's with a pen. So I'd say 98% of this is brush.
98.2.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then
percent if you want to be exact.
One more piece, something I started. I've never done a Sonia.
Saucy Sonia.
What? Who is Sonia there? Who's playing Sonia?
It is a amalgam of females that I.
Doesn't that look like a Michael Golden drawing?
It does, kind of.
And so I use, if you could see my codes.
Yeah.
And that's going to tell me where to cross hatch and how dark and that kind of thing.
My code is like, I drew a little note that says "make good here."
Yeah. Yeah, be good.
Do better here.
So hopefully by next week I'll have that done.
Very cool.
So basically, Gary, what you're saying is that's your neighbor. You're just watching her by the pool, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah, I have excellent binoculars
for reference."
All right, Kelsey, what do we got? Anything?
I've been busy doing a lot of things that I can't really show off right now. But I do have a nice little stack from last week. Or what was it? Was this last week?
Yes.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is a Western.
It was your pick, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot already. And then you got your what is it? Redraw.
Watchmen Liefeld version.
Yeah. What was the mission here? Just Watchmen characters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And here's our Larry Stroman episode with X Factor.
Yikes!
Meets Tribe. Got our cartoon guy.
Yeah.
What's
old
his name?
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. Got your redesign of Vampirella, and then this I was doodling on the other night, which I wanted to see. I wanted to do something with a brush really big, as big as I could at the moment. But even that, I'm like, I want to go bigger. I'm starting to get into this place where I want to go really big with this stuff. Just because I love, especially with these simplistic shapes. I've been looking at a lot of, Bob Hope comics, and I love how clean and fun the art is. So, and
Neil
really
Adams did a lot of those.
I really like that piece.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Neil Adams did. Neil Adams did some of those Bob Hope comics and the Jerry Lewis ones too.
I think Neil did the very, very last issue of it, but I've recently become like enamored with one of the guys who did a lot of this stuff. He's kind of an unknown guy. What's his name here? Owen Fitzgerald. Owen Fitzgerald did he worked in animation primarily, but he did most of those Bob Hope comics and stuff. And man, I just love his stuff. And there's stories out there of him doing entire issues of stuff in 2 days.
Well, that's what I think. I think Neil Adams made some comment to the effect that he he used to love working on those because he could do some ridiculous 10 pages a day or some something like that. And then he said he hated working on Batman because he could only do 7 pages a day or some ridiculous number like that. He couldn't make as much money. So I don't know that he actually was that
bragging there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he can do 7 pages of Batman a day.
Marcus mentions that Bob Oxner drew most of the Bob Hope comics.
He did not actually. He drew most of the adventures of who's the other guy? The guy we were talking about. I'll tell you.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. He did most of that. He did a large. Oxner did a big portion of Bob Hope toward the end, but 90% of it is what's his face here? Owen Fitzgerald.
Okay. I've not heard Bob Oxner's name in a long time. He's He's very talented. And
You sound like Obi-Wan there.
Early in my career.
You sounded like Obi-Wan. That's a name I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anytime Andy Smith and I get together, we're talking Bob Oxner and Owen Fitzgerald and all these guys, and nobody knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, so it's finally revealed on Graybeard's.
Didn't Bob Oxner do Angel and the Ape too?
He did. He's I think a way more thorough and accomplished artist than Owen, but Owen has like this great cartoony, like when you see animators doing their quick pencil thing, it has that kind of life and energy to it. So I mean, each one of them is excellent in their own way. You know, I love them.
Fabulous. David, what do you got for us?
Remember we were talking about the trading card, that thing Dave Johnson needed some assistance doing some layouts for a trading card, and he couldn't come up with some concepts, and he had the Vulture to do. So I had him like he's in prison.
Wow, that's great.
And he's yelling, and the bird's cast shadow makes the wings on.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's a really good design. Yeah. Did he end up doing that one?
Yes, he did.
Imagine him not coming up with an idea. I mean, for a cover. For an image.
At that time, everybody was nipping at his heels, and you could run out after a while.
That's true.
Yeah.
I helped him do a few of these.
Yeah, I know you did.
Oh. I don't know if he wants anybody to know, but I did this number issue. No, go ahead.
And I was digging through my FedEx boxes and found some other stuff.
I love this.
Oh man,
this is a Robin cover.
This is like one of my favorite David Williams eras.
Yeah, and Carl Story inked this, but the thing about this is that Alex Ross actually helped me because he tweaked the layout a little bit, and so I went with this, and I forgot to put with assist by Alex Ross or whatever. But I always give him credit where credit is due.
Is that's a printout?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was an early design for Johnny Depp as
Willy
Wonka before there was anything when we were working at Consumer Products.
Did you design that hat?
Yeah.
Oh,
that hat should have been in there at least.
Yeah.
That's a much better design than what they went with.
Yeah. Well,
I'd buy that one a little better. It was all terrible though.
And, this was a flushed project.
Oh.
I was doing a Gen 13, and like a quarter of a way into it, they canceled the book, but it was supposed to focus on what's the guy's name? I don't know their names. Grunge and his girlfriend, and so
Freefall.
Doing
their hands.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing like a Frank Miller type thing.
It almost looks Eric Larson-ish.
Yeah, I was
don't insult him. Come on now.
I got Jerome Moore to ink it.
Oh, that's really cool looking.
Jerome, yeah.
I'm tired of this. Jerome, please help.
Yeah.
I love this.
This was to help a friend. He was doing like a mummy pitch, and he got me to do some art to help.
This is awesome.
That's great.
Is that the original?
No, the guy owns the original. This was my original drawing that I did for.
You did that piece?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh man, I always look at that piece. I'm like,
that thing is everywhere. If I had a dime for everywhere it went, I'd be rich.
No kidding. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here's another cover that I did for Robin. And the funny
You're
thing was
I thought
that
you were.
I was. What was that?
You're better than I thought you were.
He should have won Best New Talent.
Yeah. What's
So I was got this assignment. Mark Chiarello gave me these covers, but he forgot that he promised it to Jason Pearson, so they took me off. And I got Dave Johnson saw it and he wanted to ink it, so he inked it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dave Johnson.
This was another Robin cover. I don't know if I have the inks on this, but Carl Story inked this one too.
I don't remember seeing this one in print. That's wild. How many of those did you do? Oh, I remember this one. I like this one.
This was the last one that I did because they said, "Oh, just draw whatever you want." I said, "But what's going on in the story? Can I tell one with a story?" And
Can I draw Batman then?
And then I made up something, and then they had the nerve to put word balloons and go, "Hey, this isn't even happening in the story."
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, "Oh, make me look like the fool."
As if they've never lied on a cover before. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. This was some artwork I did for the Darren Aronofsky thing to help the producers to keep the interest going. They wanted some art. And so
that's cool, man. That is really cool design.
How many did you do? Because I know a lot of those guys. Stelfreeze did one, JP Leon, and they did like
that was for Batman Begins. That was all Batman Begins, not the Darren Aronofsky one.
Oh, okay.
This was a trading card I did.
Jeez, put a little effort into the trading card, did you?
Yeah.
Just it shrunk down to the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, exactly. Another trading card.
Nice. That's like a Mr. Freeze, Mr. Fantastic amalgam.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, but this is the crazy thing because they gave me a whole bunch to do, and this is the first one I did, so I kind of shot my wad on this, and so I lost energy. By the time it's like, yeah. Here's your.
Well, you still got some nice background in there, especially for a trading card.
Yeah, and here's another one.
Wow.
A recreation.
Yeah.
With Will-O-the-Wisp.
Yeah, it was like Spider-Man 168.
Nerd. Terax the Terrible trading card.
Yeah.
Well,
Nova.
oh, come on.
Hand done too, right?
Man.
Yeah, hand colored. This was all hand colored.
Oh, jeez.
Some
Are you done yet? I'm trying to have the courage to draw today.
Yeah.
And here's some me doodling when I was at Consumer Products, just doing my Dick Spring Batman.
Just doing your dick spring.
Doing my Dick Spring. Playing around doing the petty stuff.
It's great.
Oh my gosh,
That's awesome.
That should be a print, man.
So wait a minute. So you're getting paid to sit around and screw around? Is that what you're telling us? Or you
when I was at when there's downtime sometimes over at those Consumer Products and animation, you get time to do this type of stuff. Here's another piece that Jerome and I did for Wildstorm.
That's early, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
Did Jerome lay down that Zipatone?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So he went into his pocket to hook this up. Another prototype.
You know I'm not paying you for this, right, Jerome?
Jerome inked that too. This is when I was.
I've never seen this one.
Chato.
You haven't seen this one, Gary?
Hey, Chato. There, yeah. I remember reading that on the back of his Madman card, and I was like, "Hey, Chato," and you're like, "Where did you hear that?"
Yeah.
It's everywhere. You're Chato Williams. He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm Brohawk." I'm like, "Give me a break."
Well, boy, I don't know how I can live up to that.
I was going to say, okay, Aaron, go.
But I think the best way to start out is to take a look at this award-winning cover.
Wah, wah. No.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Look at those vampire chicks. It wraps around.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at that.
Richard,
Are you
black
going to brag about your awards that you won as a writer when you were in middle school?
I might, if you want to hear about them. Look
Didn't
at that.
John Malin beat you as a writer, a best writer?
I know that's like the ultimate insult, man. But
and he's never written anything. I don't think he wrote Black Riding Hood.
Yeah, Little Black Riding Hood is what he won for.
Nobody's read it yet, and still he beat you. Damn,
yeah, I know.
Aaron, that must really sting.
I know. So remember this from last week. I still haven't colored it. I was going to, but I just didn't get around to it. You know, packaging books and whatnot. Yeah.
Tell us about the whatnot.
Huh?
Yeah, the whatnot.
Well, here's the whatnot. I had this commission for this dude. I had to do.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, that guy coming out of the grave. That is awesome.
Wow. Are you going to color that?
No, it's a black and white piece for.
I can imagine.
He hasn't even seen it yet. I shouldn't be showing it, but here it is.
He's seeing it right now, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh.
And I did this all with that brush pen.
No zig at all.
No. Well,
You're a
maybe to fill in some
traitor.
blacks.
Could you zoom in on that ghoul coming out of the ground?
Yeah.
Look at
I wanna
that.
see
That
like a
is
texture.
awesome.
You should. Aren't you gonna send me a set of pens?
That could be a T-shirt.
Yep. That alone, that should be like the Megadeth or what was that one?
Yeah. Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, so I just finished that up and gonna get that off to the dude. I got a lot of people that backed Wraith of God Bloodhunters with original art purchases. I got to get that stuff shipped out this week as well.
Whatever you're charging for that, it's not enough.
I charged a lot for it, but anyway, so that's all I got for now. He's got a $5 super chat from Geek Avenger. He says, unlike all of you, I have Aaron's art on the walls of our house. So if the three other gentlemen want to cure that, they can send art to. I don't think
I'm tempted. Just the idea that you're hanging Aaron's art makes me want to send you something.
Yeah, just tell me how big it is so I can up it.
Yeah, that's
right.
Bill Diaz in the chat asked if I'd read his super chat because he walked away apparently when I read it. So I'm going to read it again.
Yeah, nice. So he reads it twice. Well played.
Yeah. Hey, Beardos. Yo, Aaron, super excited. I got my mailing notification for Wraith. So hyped for that book. Speaking of hype, I'm loving that D Whams is doing on Fearsome. What's up, Gary? Kelsey too, I guess. So there we go. Thank you again for that. Everybody's
Kelsey 2, double the Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey 2, Electric Boogaloo. All righty. Okay, so
all right.
what's everybody drawing?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I've been stalling long enough.
We've been stalling for 40 minutes now. We actually have to draw something.
I don't know. What I'm going to draw sounds boring.
But we know that you're going to bring an extra.
I'm drawing that scene in A New Hope where Darth Vader is in that room with the council meeting or whatever they call that scene.
Oh, and he's choking the dude
where
out.
he chokes the dude out. Yeah.
I have a theory about that. I'll share it later.
Oh, okay.
David.
I'm doing Princess Leia because she's a warmongering whore like Nikki Haley.
Damn.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, David, don't hold back. Tell us what you think about her.
She could have been a princess. She could have brought peace. She could have, ruled. But no, she went back to. She wanted to become a general and be Nikki Haley, of the Galactic Federation, whatever.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
Nikki.
I can't wait for the primaries to be over because Nikki Haley's campaign sends me notifications like every 30 seconds on my phone. It's driving me nuts.
I don't even know who that is.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Look, a little Kit Carter sketch that I never finished, but it'll be in the sketchbook.
It's not show and tell time.
Are you going to finish it?
I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe.
I was also going to say she's a bad guy because she sucked her brother's tongue.
Ew.
Oh, ugh.
I thought it was just
I don't
a peck.
recall that, David.
Yeah, what are you watching? Eh?
Actually, if you
Pornhub
drew
version.
no, if you drew who's the big worm guy? What's his name?
Jabba.
Jabba, yeah. If you do him, you could draw Princess Leia in the slave outfit because that would, that would
They
work.
used to call me Big Worm.
Did they? Did they really? Gee, I don't know. I'm tempted to draw the sand people because it would be easy, but
those are great. I love them visually. They're really
That's
fun.
the politically correct name, saying people. The derogatory term they use for them.
Now.
What are they actually called?
Get the beep ready. Beep. Wait, that should go second, not first.
Yeah.
Let me bleep out the word sand. Yeah.
oh my gosh, are Jawas bad guys?
Chaotic neutral.
Okay, chaotic neutral. Does that count though? I don't know.
I guess so.
Could I draw the sand people versus a Green Orion slave girl?
I don't see why
sand
not. If
people,
you're
slave
straight.
people. This is a terrible thing.
Why? Okay. Why even throw in the Jawas? I mean, come on.
Okay. Well, I feel like an epic failure at this point, and I haven't even started. That's not a good way to start this show.
You're finally catching up.
I know. It's like,
We've been telling you that for a year.
well, but now that I've won best cover, I can kind of rest on my
Now you can just crap
You
it out from
realize-
now on. Yeah.
You realize you just have the comeback that will trump anything that we say from now
Yeah.
on until perpetuity.
That's
Well,
what
you
I
know.
mean. He's gonna be insufferable for the rest of the year.
Kelsey's got best new talent, so
Yeah, come on. I need to give
That
that to
should be a
the-
T-shirt.
Yeah, best new talent. Just that's it. Don't tell what. Just
I could see you strutting around at a con wearing a shirt like that.
I'm gonna have to get that made because I
oh,
think that's
dude, you have to. That would be hilarious.
best new talent. I'm gonna wear that to Vegas.
Yeah. Can I point something out or bring something up?
Yeah.
I have this package I was supposed to send off, and the person who got this didn't. I need their address again. I'm sure they probably sent it, but I can't find it. So if they could please resend
Okay,
their address.
David,
You're
I
gonna get
have
100
the address. David,
Huh?
I have the address. Gary Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11
Wait a minute. Which piece was it, David?
The color Superman.
It's colored Superman.
Yeah. Okay.
Does
So-
he hang out in the desert?
Superman of color, please.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have like 20 people put their address in the chat.
Yeah, right.
No, I know who it is. So
All
Just
right,
tell him.
we ready for this?
Okay,
right.
ready?
I'm drawing.
Draw.
All right. Oops, where's my blue pencil? All right.
I have no idea.
No,
if this is gonna
Aaron.
work at all.
I'm feeling just enormous pressure after being an award winner. I just the weight of the world is on my shoulders now.
Okay,
You don't
chat, help us
understand.
out.
you
How
can't
many
read
times
it.
has he
Said
mentioned
award
that so
wiener.
far? Now we need to start a count. How many times has he mentioned that so far? And then
At least 5 so far already.
Oh well, you got to. I still talk about the awards I won in high school, so Well, but you can always say you're an award winner, right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's award wiener.
somebody thinks that's a good strategy.
Yeah. You don't
Aaron,
mention
it's
any
a-
names or anything, but
Aaron,
yeah.
it's award wiener.
It's
I'll take that.
I want to be an award winner.
that's just how he rolls.
Citizen Ronan says it was a vote of pity.
Oh my gosh.
Dang. We like to be a little more subtle in our insults here. Aaron, you suck.
You know what?
Aaron,
You're
you
so-
notice that he said that with enthusiasm.
I got a serious lighting problem here I got to fix. I'm not sure.
Oh, here come that. This is how he wins. It's the
Oh.
excuses and
Well,
how many
Yeah, he's-
excuses went into that cover?
no, it's like every time I put more light on my table, my camera stops down more and it gets darker. It's like, why is it working against me?
He's like, that cover was supposed to be a quadruple gatefold, but
That's right.
time and all that,
Hold on a second.
Obviously, when I do color work, the lights work fine. The color
Geek
work,
Avenger is suggesting that we need to make that award trophy in the shape of a golden hot dog.
There you go. Remember the Oscar Mayer Wiener van? Or
yes, the car.
Yeah, that's what Kevin Thomas is saying. The Oscar Mayer of Comic Skate. Aaron
I
Lopresti.
love it. I had a toy of that. I thought it was the coolest thing.
The Wiener car, the Wiener mobile.
Leg Kick is laying down. He says that sadly Roger Castell, the artist for the Jaws poster, passed away.
Oh, he did
Oh.
today? I just did a thing on him on my show like 2 weeks ago.
That's probably why I died of embarrassment.
Oh my goodness.
He was like, no, he was in his
changing the tone a bit. Jimmy Reyes is saying, hey, Jimmy, everyone knows insults are not funny unless they hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Unless they're about Jimmy. Good thing you're here, Jimmy. Let's turn our razor's edge toward Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's
Only
given
it's
the
not long
green
enough
light
'cause he's
to
very
insult Jimmy.
You think when they designed these sand people that they just were like, what do you got laying around? And they just started putting stuff and wrapping it around their head.
Well, yeah, it was an easy costume.
It's kind of funky though to draw.
Kind of like Frank Miller did in 300.
Well, you know, I did I have a drawing on the board of David versus Goliath. And the first time I drew Goliath, I just had him like shirtless and just kind of had a tunic on and like a bunch of human skulls as a belt around his waist and things. And then I thought, well, this isn't very accurate. And so then I went back and looked and see if there was any sort of like historical knowledge of what Philistines might have been wearing. And they found, I guess, some clay pots with some imagery painted on them that were, I believe, were Philistine or whatever.
Yep.
And so then I redid it with the Philistine armor, and it's not as cool. So I'm thinking maybe taking, you know, there's something to taking artistic historical liberties to make something look cooler.
Gary has a picture of a Philistine.
Do tell, David.
Yeah, what do you mean?
You know you got a picture of a Philistine. I think you showed it before.
Yeah, what's a Philistine?
I'll remind you later.
Okay, all right. Wow, the Jimmy Reyes insults are flying in the chat.
I don't teach you to say anything.
Okay, let me just read some of the highlights.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Eric. Hut flies? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Punching Jimmy is always punching down. Even Jimmy is getting in on it. Comic book greats. Big John Buscema and Little Jimmy Reyes.
Well, now it's no fun.
Oh.
If he can insult himself, that's just.
I'm kind of bummed about Roger Castell. You know, he did the Jaws poster, right?
What else did he do?
You don't say. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did the Great Train Robbery with Donald Sutherland and
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, yeah, and
Yeah.
that hot English chick.
Oh, right.
Hottie
He did-
McEngland.
Oh, he also did the Gone with the Wind Star Wars poster. Speaking of Star Wars,
Which one?
the Empire Strikes Back. There was the Gone with the Wind sort of tribute poster.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa. You have to
Yeah,
bring
I was
that one up.
actually
I'm
thinking
not
about
familiar.
reinterpreting that, but I just realized that was way over my head
So
after looking at it for 5 seconds.
it's like, yeah, probably not going to manage this very well.
I had to pick something that the easiest thing on here to draw is Darth Vader.
And he's
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, see, this kind of is counterintuitive to my what I do well. Well, yeah, I'm like I'm an
soul.
I'm an organic guy. All this Star Wars tech stuff. That's why I went with the Sand People. But even they're getting techie on me now. I'm like, what is this crap on here? I thought they were just robes. They got like bandoleros. Is that what they call them with the belts crossing your chest as a bandolero or something? Isn't that what they call that?
Yeah.
Did David mention what he was going to do?
He said Princess Leia because I reminded him of what's her face? Who Kelsey's never heard of. Nikki Haley.
Oh,
Okay. I just recently saw a photo of Carrie Fisher in the slave Leia costume frolicking in the ocean.
Yes, I saw that.
whoa.
It's memorable.
Bring it up.
It's memorable.
I need reference.
Yeah. Aaron?
Yeah, okay, I'll find it. I got
It's
nothing better to do, apparently.
it's memorable.
Now we're talking.
Oh, wait a minute. Carrie Fisher.
I got to draw Grand Moff Tarkin also. Dang. He's in this scene. Isn't he?
Marcus knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, let's see if we can find. Oh, yeah. Well, there's plenty of images, quite frankly, of her.
So, with all this Star Wars talk, I should reveal that I purchased a month's worth of Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
I have, and I've been exploring.
Oh my gosh! You're gonna lose your best newcomer award.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa, good for her. This is
good for us.
Are you
I
sure
heard
that's the ocean?
I heard she lost weight and the costume didn't fit, so maybe this is just their way of shrinking it up a little bit. Get out there in the ocean.
You sure that's the ocean?
Oh boy.
What's
All right,
that?
the chat, Aaron. The chat's getting excited. You better shut that down.
All right.
Wow! Ooga! Hamina, hamina, hamina.
Oh well, there is. Wait a minute. What's this one here? No, that's not it.
Her nude photos. Does she have any of those?
There's some more. The whole gang's involved in this, though.
I've not seen this one.
Oh, I could have done a Gamorrean guard. I love those little pig guys.
Oh yeah.
Not
Do you
too
think
late.
this was photoshopped or they're actually there?
That looks
No,
fake
they're there.
to me.
They didn't have Photoshop back then.
No. What?
I don't.
She's
I think that's like a
No, it could be
backdrop,
her.
right?
Actually her, and what are those little munchkin guys called?
They're
Ewok.
called little
Ewoks,
people.
yeah,
Gary.
her
Little
Ewok.
people.
It looks like the rest of it is staged.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. There's our Carrie Fisher fix for the day.
That'll work for starters.
All right, I'm painting already.
What? Lies!
Like straight to paint.
Yeah.
Man, that should be
I'm
like
not
one of the challenges. Just
I'm
go
not even
straight to
drawing
paint.
anything. I'm just going straight to paint, man.
Henry Bemis talking about that photo. I think I saw this movie. It was behind a beaded curtain at my local video store.
Smelled like pot back there.
Did you hear what David said? I think David had a good idea. Should do like a, go straight to paint episode.
Well, weren't we going to do one like everybody had to do it in crayon, or everybody had to use?
Yeah, like it'd be different mediums each time.
Yeah.
That's where we have to start spicing up this show. Now that we're award winning, people are going to expect more.
Mhm. Man, I was trying to find reference, and then my stupid computer wants to update.
What's
We'll
that?
have to do it later. You still have
It
control
won't-
of your computer, David.
Well, see, David, it won't be stupid after it updates.
Very smarter.
What's an Imperial droid that can like walk around? It does service stuff. Not those little.
Those aren't the droids you're looking for, Kelsey.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find the ones I'm looking for. I need a droid.
Mr. I hate Star Wars is laying down the lines.
Yeah, I need.
I never said I hated it. I just like Star Trek better. That's all. I'm
Okay,
saying.
all right, we're getting it.
Need one like right in here.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what to do. I'll just maybe I'll just have to make one up.
Kelsey at a loss.
Modified IG88. I'm always at a loss. I never know how this is going to work out.
Yeah, but you're usually at the painting stage right now, and you haven't even started drawing.
Kelsey, you might be compromising the integrity of this piece by making something up. You know how the Star Wars fans are.
Oh, that's true. All right. Anybody in the chat down
You
there?
better, like, yeah, better do some.
Give me some droid names. K2SO. Isn't that a newer one?
Hey, Aaron, those aren't bad guys.
Who?
Oh no, I know this one.
What
that
you're
is a
drawing?
Sand people are bad guys.
No, see.
They tried to kill Luke, didn't they?
Thanks, Will. Yeah, good one.
Hey, they're just in their territory, and Luke, the person occupying their space. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They look like bad guys to me. So.
Is K2SO taller than Darth Vader, you think?
Glitch is saying, tell Kelsey that the droid he is looking for is a Gonk droid, G-O-N-K.
Dude, how do you guys know this stuff?
They are freaking nerds. That's why.
Gonk droid.
I went and saw Star Wars like 15 times when it came out because every time we were bored during the summer, we went and saw Star Wars, and I still don't know all this
You're
stuff.
right.
Now I think
Who is Daisy Ridley?
She's in the new movies.
Yeah, she's like the new Luke.
Have you not seen any of those? The new movies?
I don't know who that is. There is a young lady, I'm sorry, Mike TV Dub, saying there was a young lady at an insurance firm near my work that was a Daisy Ridley lookalike. She was cute, but I wanted to punch her in the face.
damn.
Actually, I'm paraphrasing. I wanted to punch her at the same time. She was the
J.J. Abrams.
Okay, I know who she is. I know who she is. I didn't know her name, her real name.
The one that was too good to get with the black guy.
Yeah, no, she was very cute. I'm surprised I haven't seen her in a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I think she gave up acting after this. She's like, this is crazy. I'm out.
No, I saw her.
Ray, that's it. Thank you, Henry. She played Ray.
You drew her one.
That was the
didn't you,
first
Jack?
question, Gary. You said, who is Ray?
No, I didn't. I said Daisy Ridley, not Ray.
Daisy
right, you're wrong.
Ridley.
Didn't you do a Ray piece?
No, I've not done a Ray piece.
I've done multiple Ray pieces.
Done a
Because you're
Ray
a nerd.
Charles piece.
I don't even know if I can find them. I'm looking right now because I'm so far ahead right now. I can rest.
That's true. Rest your hand. Shake it out, Aaron.
Well, I'm using the mouse, which is harder on your hand than the pencil is. But I'm trying to find.
It's all right. Let me tell my Disney Plus tragedy. You know,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there's more.
well, yeah, there was like I'd seen. I was trying to watch, some of the other Star Wars stuff to comment on various shows, and I'd seen Mandalorian, and I liked that one a lot.
It was a pretty good show. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even finish it apparently because I didn't even see the Luke Skywalker scene that everybody was talking about.
Well, that was the end of that was the last episode.
Okay, well, I must have missed that one. I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect,
nice.
but
Nice, Aaron.
There you go.
ooh,
Yeah.
Hey,
A little pencil
There she
drawing in
is.
the old sketchbook. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Way back in 2017, before people started hating on her. Then I had to burn this drawing. I didn't want to-
And the person who had it.
That's right.
You
Actually,
may
I
have
think
paid for it first, and then you burned it.
Yeah, I may have given this to my son. I don't remember. He was really into those second wave Star Wars movies, and I went and saw it with him. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? This is just a remake of the first one and not even half as good.
that's what everybody wanted.
So that was.
Let's be honest. That's what they want. Because anytime there's something new, they don't like it. So what is it? So anyway, what I was saying about the show, this is kind of what I'm getting to, is the point that like I've watched Boba Fett. That was one of the worst Star Wars things I'd ever seen. I think that set them back so far. It was really amateurish and not good at all.
Which one?
Boba Fett.
I heard. I didn't watch it. I just heard it was terrible.
It's awful. And so I saw Mandalorian. Okay, it was a shining spot. I was like, okay, this is good. If they can do this, even though it's a little on the serious side for me for Star Wars. Like I don't know. There's a feeling that they're missing with Star Wars, like a magic. I don't know, a fun playfulness maybe. Because even when it seems, dire, when they're about to be thrown down a Sarlacc pit, they're making jokes, and it doesn't seem so dire. It doesn't seem like, we're all gonna die. But that's the way the new stuff seems. It's very drama based. So anyway, I caught like a half second of Ahsoka, just the very beginning, and it lost me pretty quick. I may give it another shot. I don't know.
What didn't you like about it?
Hold on. I don't know. That's why I need to go back and see. Ooh, hey.
Aaron.
Damn,
Oh.
hey, Ron.
Why don't you draw like this all the time?
I know, right?
It takes a lot of effort.
How did you do the colors? Did you just colorize it?
Yeah, I dropped the pencil. I did that in like on watercolor board in pencil, and then just scanned it in black and white, and then I just added those that color in Photoshop.
So I'm watching. I started watching. I don't know about Ahsoka. Like I don't know. It just wasn't clicking. But I may give it another shot. But
what is Ahsoka?
She's a character from the cartoon series, the
from
Clone Wars.
The cartoon series. She's one of the most popular Star Wars characters.
Is she that who's the actress that plays her? Did you
Rosario Dawson?
Rosario Dawson. Yeah, Gary, you did a piece of her, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
I mean, I like Rosario generally, but with Ahsoka, I was actually a fan of the Clone Wars cartoon. So, like,
everybody liked that. Everybody said that was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and but Ahsoka definitely wasn't a favorite part of mine. I thought her kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's her.
Hey,
wait a minute, hold it up, Gary. Hold it up again.
It's in a plastic bag, so I'm getting a.
Well, yeah, but you can get a little.
Look at this smirk.
That's available too for purchase, I believe.
It is. It's available, and that again, it's all brush.
Look at all them lines.
Cross hatching galore.
So that brings me to Andor. Now, Andor, I just finished watching all of it. The first season, I guess. And because I actually kind of liked the movie version of that, which was the Rebel Moon. What the hell was that?
That's Zack Snyder's thing.
Yeah. What's the one I'm thinking of?
Rogue One?
Rogue One, yeah. It was not good. I don't like the main character. There was no real.
You didn't like Rogue One? I kind of.
It was okay, but they could have done so much more with like the main characters. I mean, there was nothing there really.
Well, that dude was a wimpy. That little wimpy dude. I can't stand that guy.
Then they had that weird octopus thing that like sucks out your brains. I don't know. There was a lot of stupid stuff in it, but I kind of like the tone, and it made me think. Oh, they could do several different kinds of Star Wars. You can have your adult themed stuff that deals with more heady themes. It shows the struggle, things like that. And that's kind of where they went with the show with Andor. Like it's almost like watching The Wire set in the Star Wars universe or something like
that.
Really? They try. They have to keep it somewhat simplified. And it's not perfect, but it's very serious, and it's basically like the root causes of the rebel alliance forming to stand up against the empire, and it kind of shows the empire spreading out, and it's eerily close to a lot of the stuff going on in the world today.
Did anybody in the show say you are a traitor and part of the rebel alliance?
Not yet, but it's coming.
Fly.
It's coming. You know it's coming. Yeah. Yeah, but my favorite part, honestly, is how they portray the empire. I think they did a really good job, because there's several times I'm like, what do these people do all day? You know, like, is this a job? Do they have like a 401k? Yeah. Are they just evil? I mean, like,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, no, they do a really good job setting up this bureaucracy that you kind of like the people that end up on the rebel side just kind of find themselves in this situation. They just move in and they just slowly take away your rights until you realize, oh crap, I'm a slave to the empire. Yep. Exactly. There's a lot of eerie parallels here.
Yep. Kelsey, just a heads up, Aaron is inking already.
Well, that's low effort gets you far.
Okay.
I know, it's all clothing. Big dress all the way to the ground.
I mean, I'm even doing the garbage compactor over here. So
you guys should think twice about making fun of an award-winning artist. Just saying.
Okay, Gabe, whatever you say.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Ouch.
Damn.
But
that's the way to pump Aaron's brakes.
But it's a pretty good show, the Andor, for what it is. But I did notice that it seemed like all the shows with characters from the old days that we know and love, Boba Fett, trash. Andor, good. That's a new character from the new universe.
Well, do you think this
Mandalorian, good?
Do you think this is the same old thing where you got people jumping in on this stuff and they don't really have an understanding of the characters or a true love for them, and so they don't really they're changing, kind of like comics. They're taking these characters and changing them into what they want them to be instead of building on what they already are.
Well, I kind of like. I don't like anything new that they're doing with any of the old characters. Like it's just like the DC universe. It's like what's that movie with the Joker? The Joker movie was like really cool and compelling and like it was like a decent movie. And every time they brought up Batman, it took me out of it. I'm like, oh, right, it's a Batman movie. Right. So I feel that way kind of about this. It's like if they would just leave the old stuff alone and go make some new stuff, you're going to have hits and misses, but seeing Mandalorian and this new one, whatever that was, Andor, I mean, they do a lot better when they just kind of do their own thing. But there's a real fundamental flaw in the whole thing, in that what I was saying about them making it realistic and actual, like, here's the roots of rebellion and here's people dying. There's murder. There's I mean, it's intense. And then there's this whole other side to it, which is Senator. She was in Jedi. The woman that shows up on the ship to tell them that many Boffins had died. What's her name?
One in the white robe.
Right. She's a main character in this, and you get the whole side of her trying to appeal to the Senate to help people and do these things. And I don't want to say too much in case anybody wants to see, but she's definitely an integral character in the whole thing.
And that's the thing that my beef with Star Wars. They have so many cool and interesting characters. And then
Do they?
and then when they tell their backstories, it's always disappointing.
Well, that's part of the character. If they don't have a good backstory, they're not a good character, are they?
Well, I mean, you don't know. You just their
Visually.
Oh, okay.
they're just standing around in the background. Who's that? Who's that? And then we find out who they are, and then they're like,
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, unless they come up with new stuff. I mean, how much further? I'd rather them not take on Dark Empire. I like that as a comic book. You know, I'd almost rather them not take on Thrawn, even though I know that they're doing that now to not very good much success. You know,
He's starting over.
huh?
I said he's starting over.
or are you doing two?
I saw what David was doing, and I was like, well, if he's not doing what I wanted to originally do, then I'm going to go ahead and do what I originally wanted to do.
Which is what, Batman?
What?
Princess Leia.
Oh, Leia.
I want to draw Jabba the Hutt.
He's doing Star Trek.
Yeah.
He's redrawing his award-winning cover.
Yeah. Hold on. By the way, we have a count going in the chat. Levi Skeen says that's 15.
What?
Oh, times you've mentioned
I've mentioned
your
it?
award-winning.
Well, you know, I just want to make people aware of what's going on out in the world.
Aaron's like, that's all? I
What's
got
going
double
on
my
here,
numbers.
I just kind of look at myself as kind of a news anchor. I'm just trying to report the news to you guys so you're aware of what's going on.
What are you talking about, Aaron? What's going on?
Well, there was some awards like
And
Did you get Aaron? Did you get a plaque or a little statuette or anything?
I got I think there's like a little scribbled note on a ripped piece of paper.
Okay.
Congratulations.
It's been quickly matted and framed.
yeah.
Yeah, it's above the mantle. Yeah. He took all the kids' awards off the fridge and just wiped them off on the floor. Put his right in it.
He goes, Shelly, you just can't talk to me any old way. You see this?
Yeah.
Right. He's got a pin to his shirt. He just points to it to win an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
Recognize.
Yeah, sure, that's a good point. But do you realize I won Best Cover Award for?
All right, now we got some extra time now that he's starting over, right? Like,
No.
Why do we get extra time? Because he's starting over.
No.
shut up, dude.
Oh, sorry.
I'm drawing like a whole Death Star scene here.
Yeah, my Jabba the Hutt already looks like a Sid and Marty Krofft character.
Yeah, there's a thing going on there.
Perfect.
I want him to.
You got his mouth turned up. It should be turned down.
It's the snowman. What
No,
what
when he's talking, he's like, yeah.
No.
Yes, I'm looking at a picture right now.
Quit lying.
All righty.
Quit lying.
You never drew Jabba at Warner Brothers. Don't be dropping that stuff on me.
That's true.
You came up so quick. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a liar. I admit it.
Thanks again to Marcus. Always can count on Marcus to drop in the links to the campaigns. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.
What's the name of this character I'm drawing?
Are you
Spider-Man.
doing Maul?
Darth Maul. There you
Oh,
go.
that is.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Oh, you know what? Who's the? You know that blue guy with the big nose that owned the junk shop, Watto or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, Watto.
Is that dude a villain?
I was finna say that. My cousin Raymond. No.
David, how did you not win the Black Award?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm just stalling out here, man.
No, I don't know if Watto's I mean, he ends up kind of having a redemption, sort of, at the end, even
Does
though he
he?
was a slave driver.
Oh, that's right. He did kind of bought him pizza or something, didn't he?
Yeah, bought him pizza. I couldn't think of a more Star Wars thing to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, he talked like he owned a pizza parlor.
You want the pizza?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hey, speaking of food, do you guys like bacon sandwiches?
Yeah, sure. Well, just bacon with nothing else?
No. I made one yesterday. It was so good.
We mean like bacon, lettuce, and tomato, or
yeah, and I like put.
Yeah, I love them.
I put an egg on mine, but I also had this spinach dip, and I used that as the spread.
What are you doing?
Oh man!
Did you say spinach dip?
Yep. Trust me.
I'm about to leave.
Trust me. It
So I'm
is
gonna
so
go out
good.
and get some spinach.
Now,
dip.
hang on. Spinach dip is awesome.
Did you say awful?
Awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah. Put
We're
it on
about to have
put it on a bacon sandwich instead of just mayonnaise.
Just hungry.
Oh man.
Better taste good with some guacamole.
Mm.
Bacon and guacamole.
Oh
That'd be
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Now, see, I always make my bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches with cheese.
Yep. I put
Really?
cheddar on mine.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really good.
Next level, dude. When you want to go next level, that's what you do. Just saying.
Oh, and I had mine on
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
garlic bread.
Oh, see, look, you just keep upping the game, man.
See, Glitch is mentioning Dark Talon again. None of us know who that is.
It's not like Google doesn't even know what it is.
Okay, he's saying, really surprised no one did Dark Talon, a nearly naked red twee leaks.
All right, I'm looking this up. I'm
What's
looking this up right now.
Twee leaks?
Twi'lek, right?
I have no idea.
Dark
I'm butchering
Talon,
it. I know I'm butchering it.
Dark Talon Red Star Wars. If this doesn't come up, it's
That's
just
what I would call my
dude, it's
my-
just pictures of Kelsey. I don't know.
I'm surprised
Oh.
my cousin doesn't pop up when
Java.
you type in Dark Talon because she
Yeah.
doesn't cut her toenails.
Okay, Will, I will ask David that, but why are you yelling? Gary, can you ask David if we'll ever get a book of his prelims a la Scribbles?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That's a good
Um,
idea.
Probably
David?
not because of the nature of how well or not well these kind of campaigns go.
Yeah, art books don't sell that great.
Yeah,
But they do help you with the next project.
Yeah.
well, you could do one as an addition to like a campaign you're running. You know, like I'm going to do that with Shank. I'm going to
Well, if
actually
I-
have like a sketchbook.
Right.
If I do that, it'll probably be directly correlating with the actual book that I'm trying to sell.
Right.
So it'll probably just be those layouts and stuff because I got like a huge folder full of like Bass Reeves, just tons of layouts. I was just thinking about,
Yeah.
man, how am I going to unload this stuff? And same with that former project that I can't even remember what it's called. I have like tons of good stuff.
So, Aaron, you did not find Darth Talon?
Oh, I found her and I'm drawing her now.
Oh, are you?
You just changed again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're not waiting on
Okay.
you. Once the show's over, we're out of here.
Dude,
See,
when
so, chat,
when
you
you're
do
an
have
award-winning
influence.
artist, you can, when you're an award-winning artist, you can do things.
You do whatever you want.
That's 16.
I think that's 17.
So he's not going to show the reference. He's going to show his finished artwork.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
Here's a trivia question for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
What is the name of the monster in the garbage crusher? Does it have a name?
The Loop Garou.
No, that's me. That's
I have no idea. I didn't know it had one. It probably did, knowing George Lucas, but I don't know they ever used it in the movie though.
they didn't make a toy of it.
I don't think so.
I think his name was Randy.
Right? Yeah, Randy. Yeah.
Bob the garbage. Are you trying to say it was Garbage Man? What are you getting at?
Oh yeah. Hey, I didn't even think about that. No, I need to look him up. That's why I was hoping he had a name.
I would just say garbage or compact monster.
Yeah.
Did they even show it? It was just like was like a big snaky thing with like
yeah, we just see a tentacle
things on it. Or
I want to say they show the rest of it in like Clone Wars or something, but in the movies you just see that little eyeball pop up, right?
yeah, you just go. No, that was the eyeball was in when he was on Dagobah, wasn't it?
I could have sworn there was a little eyeball that pops up.
Maybe you might be right.
Trash compactor. Makes like a noise.
Glitch is saying the monster was called a Dianoga. Am I saying that correct?
Oh my God.
Wow.
These guys know. They know all.
The big brain on Brad.
Yeah.
Let me look that up. How do you spell that?
Yeah, green.
Oh,
green laser
Dianoga.
confirming Dianoga.
I'm just going to type that in and see if Google knows what that is without writing Star Wars. Dianoga. Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're doing now, Aaron.
It does. Way to go, Google.
Well, you know more than me because I've never seen this chick before, but
Wow. Okay.
Wait, I thought that was the other chick that was dancing around Jabba.
No. She must be from the same like species because she's got those big head things on, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
so that's a question in the chat for the chat. What are those appendages growing out of her head? What are those?
Dude, ask the guy who talked me into doing this.
Hey, and I want to know is why who's the guy at Jabba's palace also has those ears, but he's a different color.
No. You're talking about the white guy that has the big old snake head?
No, the guy, the doorkeeper.
Yeah, the one that talked to Luke and
he's like,
he goes, "You weak-minded fool," or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but he just had like one, didn't he? And it kind of wrapped around his neck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's different than the two. And
that's right. He just had one.
Glitch
it could be the male version.
Glitch is saying Darth Talon was from the Dark Horse comics called Star Wars Legacy.
Oh, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Is she a redhead?
No, she's just red. Period.
Oh, maybe I don't know what you're talking
with black like tattoo.
Okay, Justin Side is saying she's a Twi'lek.
Twilight,
and those are Lekus. I know I'm butchering that too. What's a Lekus?
I don't know. What's a Lekus with you?
Yeah, I think you're making this up because I don't know.
Well, there was Night of the Lepus, but that was in the 70s.
Skullmaster is saying Twi'leks are different colors. They are a couple of blue ones on episode 1.
What a deep cut, Night of the Lepus. Holy moly.
How do you guys know this stuff?
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Can you draw with a smaller pencil?
Yeah. What was that little golf pencil?
Oh, don't you guys do that? Like hang on till they're just nubs, and then you're like, why am I
Nope.
drawing with this thing?
We use technical pencils.
I can't stand it once it gets, couple, like an inch shorter than this, I throw it in the trash. No, I'm just kidding. No, I can't. I still have all the old short pencils. I don't know why. I never throw them away. Just in case. You never know if you need a pencil and you got a bowl full of shorties.
Exactly.
I don't know if this is true, but Eric applies is saying Darth Talon was created by Jan Duursema.
Yeah.
Isn't it Drusima?
I don't know.
I just I learned like last year that was a woman.
Really? Jan Duursema. You never.
Well, Jan, there's Jan Michael Vincent. There's Jan.
Jan and Dean.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jans. All right, I'm going in with the inks. See what happens.
I should be coloring right now, but I'm penciling because
I can't even see what you even have on your paper, Kelsey.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I don't want you to losing heart.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Are you coloring this, Kelsey?
Yeah, just grayscale. I don't know. I'll try. It's a kind of a lot in this one, so maybe.
A lot of hesitancy for the guy who won a couple of awards.
Yeah, best new cover, right?
No. I said you are showing a lot. I mean, you were best new artist.
Oh yeah,
and
I've been working hard this year to earn
best
that.
colorist too.
Yeah, that's my. I think my second year in a row of taking that from Kyle. Suck it, Kyle. Now we need some.
This is as bad as I am.
Kyle, he's a tough one to beat. So I'm happy to take it from him.
I was surprised I wasn't nominated for best colorist, but you can't be nominated in every category. So,
yeah, you're not. How many were you nominated for? You were nominated for quite a few, actually.
Well, I don't really remember, but I know there was best writer, best.
Yeah, you remember.
You can't remember them all.
Most anticipated character, Kit Carter.
He totally
You're
remembers.
making up categories.
Wait a minute.
No, that's true.
He totally remembers. Oh, I can't remember all of it.
Best characters
writer,
brought up in their youth.
Best cover artist, which I won, and
all the ones he didn't win are now on his
18.
wall going next time.
next year it's gonna be
next
different.
Do better, Aaron.
I'm gonna show Malin.
I'll show them all.
He said, I'm going to have N-word all in my book.
Yeah, that's how to win.
Paul Mooney used to say, I say the N-word 20 times a day to make my teeth whiter.
Oh man! Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh my goodness!
All right, I think it's time for me to bring the show down a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't go much farther.
I've got something serious to talk about, and I promised I would mention it on the show, so I'm going to ask Kelsey and David. Has Shelley reached out to you guys recently?
Oh, no, not yet.
Sounds like no.
Is this about Aaron?
She contacted me a couple of weeks ago, and she was asking me if I knew what Aaron was doing for several hours a day every weekend, that like he disappears. And she's concerned, like he's up to something.
He's been hunting for me.
So I, did a little research, and I'm going to have to share the ugly truth of what Aaron's been up to. Aaron, could you?
I tried to cover.
You want me to share your screen when you're going to indict me for?
Yes,
something?
please.
Okay, here we go.
What?
So apparently Aaron has been hanging with his people every weekend. And so Aaron, I just, consider this your intervention. That, people in the chat and us graybeards, we love you. We're your friends. But, the hard truth is, you got to grow up, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The main reason I'm leaving is because I'm not a commander. I should be wearing a red shirt, and they got me in gold. And I'm like, I'm out of here, you guys. I'm out of here.
I was there too, but I was dressed as Han Solo. They didn't like me much.
Yeah. Get out of here.
It's funny. I actually do have pictures of me in Star Trek uniform on the bridge from Universal City many moons ago in the mid-90s.
Why are we not surprised?
Full regalia, full costume.
Well, yeah, you went into this place and they just you get like a Star Trek shirt, and they put the shirt on you, and then you go and stand on the Enterprise, and then they they green screen you basically, and then they put in the rest of the crew. So, you know, when you get to the end of the thing, the picture shoots out and you're like, oh, here I am on the Enterprise. So yeah.
They should do that as a ride where they take, you know, you have to go down a water slide after you go through the bridge, you know. They'll take a picture of you as you're going down.
With your little uniform on.
Yeah.
Sir Nolan of Lockhart says an award-winning artist deserves a red shirt.
Exactly. Wait a minute, a red shirt.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, aren't those the guys that die on the plane? Wait a minute now.
Hey, you said it.
Well, yeah, but that guy was in that picture you showed that was like next gen. And didn't Picard have a red uniform?
See, Aaron, you're just proving our point.
What?
How do you know this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that I don't know it proves that I never watched Next Generation.
The more superior.
Oh my
series.
God! What a piece of garbage! It's like, hey, there's original series and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they didn't have to redo the effects on that one to, you know, stay current.
Wow. Man. Don't diss the Trek, man. Original series all the way.
All the way to the graveyard.
No, you're just jealous because you were born too late to really appreciate it.
I had it on video cassette. I watched a bunch of those.
I had it on beta.
That's what keeps Kelsey up at night, laying there thinking, oh, I was born too late to appreciate Star Trek.
It's true.
Yeah, and you were born too late to have good Saturday morning cartoons. But, you know.
Well,
would you have Beanie and Cecil? Yeah.
Popeye and, you know,
Popeye. Right, yeah. Yeah. Do you have any Bionic 6? No.
No. But I did have
Centurion.
We do, you know, the first 2 seasons.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Losers.
Speed Buggy, which was basically a ripoff of Captain Caveman, which you know.
Captain Caveman. Yeah, I watched a lot of that stuff. That's your generation?
Yeah.
All right, that's not bad. I thought you were.
Thank you. Jeez.
I thought you were much older.
Take it all back now.
No, I'm going to double down. No, your generation just.
You're that crap.
All right, I'm almost done. Where are you guys at?
You are not. I'm almost done. I'm on my 3rd drawing.
That's true. Aaron's banged out 3 already.
Well, partial 3. I was inking the Sand People, and I'm like, why am I not drawing this chick?
They're just, it should have been a sand chick.
Yeah, I could have, right? Did they, you know, Sand People chick in the you know, I keep getting these ads keep showing up for some Star Wars burlesque show that's coming to Portland.
I get those too. I'm very tempted to click it.
Yeah, but I'm afraid it'll take me down a rabbit hole that
I know exactly.
May ruin my life.
Or you'll see more pictures of Leia on the beach.
Yeah, and well,
just the whole concept of Portland burlesque kind of scares me.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, but it's a traveling show, I think, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
It's originally from Wisconsin.
Yeah, they've got even more.
Okay, you talked me out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like in all the photographs, the girls all have like these incredible figures, and you're like, I'm guessing that's really not what I'm going to see.
See, Aaron, you know way more about it than I do.
You get the same pictures I do. I've never clicked on it, but I was curious.
See the one of
where are they holding this event at? That's what I was curious about.
Chat, I think Aaron has clicked the link. What do you think?
If I click the link, I'd know where it's at.
That's true.
This has
It's
got to
not
be
like
like one of those things where they try to catch deadbeat dads, right? They're like, "Hey, come on out to the Star
Yeah,
Wars
yeah,
burlesque show," and then you
Well,
get a bunch of like nerd deadbeat dads, right?
well, I'm wondering, they make it seem like it's, the ads are like this. It seems like a really highfalutin production, right? And you're thinking, is this in the Coliseum? I mean, where is this? You're like, it's probably like in some back room of some tavern someplace.
Yeah, some Elks Lodge.
Yeah. Live at the Elks Lodge, Friday and Saturday night only.
Yep.
Oh, gosh, it probably is. That's a funny thing. But like I said, I was too scared to click on it to find out where it was at. So.
I want to know, but I'm scared.
That's exactly right.
Just
Sure.
put
Oh,
Shelly
hey,
on it.
Shelly got mad at me early in our marriage for going to Dick Blick's until she found out. I go, it's an art supply store.
Sure, it is. Aaron.
Exactly what she did. She's like, what is this Dick Blick's you keep going to? And I'm like, I get my brushes there.
Yeah, you should. You should just immediately say it's an art store, but no, you got to say I get my brushes there. Like what other things? You should say it's not a gay club, whatever you might think.
Is that code for something?
Yeah.
The brushes there.
I tell this little story as often as I am reminded that when I went to New York to visit Marvel in DC with Terry Austin, he took me to Dick Giordano's studio. And this was right before Giordano was hired at DC to be an editor. The big sign outside the studio that said Dick Art. I am not joking.
I know, I've seen that. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. But it is true. Hey, now, have you, Gary, did you ever go to that restaurant called Jekyll and Hyde's, or was it even there back when you were? It's like a 3-story monster themed restaurant.
No, there were a lot of monster themed restaurants in New York.
It's really cool. It was somebody.
You talking about New York?
Hmm?
Are you talking about New York?
Yeah, New York City.
No, I've not heard of that.
You've never heard of New York?
Afraid not. I don't think I don't know anything the west east of Bend, Oregon.
Oh, geez. No, Carl Kiesel, I think, is the one who told me about it, and he said it's over by who's the statue, that gold statue that's like right in front of Central Park?
The Prometheus Fountain.
Yeah, is that what it is? The statue right there?
Yeah.
Like right in the middle
of Rockefeller Plaza.
Yeah, whatever the road is or the street that goes right up to where that statue is.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's a really thin, tall building that's like crammed between 2 office buildings, and you don't even notice it if you're not really looking for it, because we almost walked right by it, and Josh was like, "Hey, Dad, is that the?" And I went, "Holy crap, there it is!" So it's like a block from that statue on that whatever that street is, and it was just crammed right in. So like a real narrow building that's 3 stories tall, and it's called Jekyll and Hyde's, and you go in and they have like they have a stage up there where they have like, Frankenstein monster, and they, it's coming to life and all this kind of stuff.
Really? How long was that restaurant there?
I took Josh when he was in junior high, and it was there long before I went there. So that would have been, 15, 20, no, not 20 years ago, but probably 15 years ago, at least 16 years ago.
I was there in the early to mid 80s, and I don't remember anything like that.
It might have been post that, but I know it was around the 90s, because I remember that Carl was hanging a lot in New York back at that time.
Yeah, I met Carl in the office at DC.
Yeah, so it had to have been around, maybe it was new to the 90s, I don't know, but it was very cool, very it was obviously a tourist kind of thing, but it was pretty well done for what it was. And I guess there's one in Germany because I saw someone show up on my feed. I thought it was the same place, but it was apparently at some restaurant called Frankenstein's in Germany or something. So I guess they don't really care about copyright infringement over in Europe. Because they had like the Karloff version of Frankenstein in there. And I'm like, I don't think Universal's on board with this, but
Should have dined him out.
yeah, I should have. Make them pay.
Henry Jeremek is saying, isn't that gold statue of Aaron?
Well, they're changing it now that I'm an award winner.
They have to clone them.
He's finally been recognized. We can take this down.
Yeah, Prometheus, Prometheus. Let's get low up of Lopresti. I always wondered what that would feel like actually to like have a statue of you put up someplace. And you're kind of like, that would make me really uncomfortable.
Well, they usually do that when you're dead, so I don't think you.
Well, no, that's not true. If you look at like football stadiums, a lot of times college football stadiums have like the greatest coach or whatever. And when Penn State had Joe Paterno, who was the coach for like 50 years, and they had that disgusting sex scandal going on there. And so they end up taking his statue down. I mean, that's the ultimate, right? You're like, oh, I guess they took my statue down.
Well, they do that for no reason now.
Yeah.
That's true. They just tear it down, right?
Yeah. Why did they take Bill Cosby's down?
Yeah.
Well, you know that you guys that with Stallone from Rocky 3, that statue was up there on the steps of the wherever. Is that like the Philadelphia Art Museum?
Philadelphia, yeah.
And they left it up there after the movie, and the city officials were after a while like, wait a minute, this isn't even real. Why is it up here? And they took it down. Poor Sylvester Stallone.
Why do we have a Stallone statue here? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
Didn't they put it back up?
I don't know, but I know they took it down because they were like, okay, this is fake. Why are we celebrating Stallone? But
why not?
They were celebrating it now because he put them on the map in such a big way. They just think of that,
Well, no, that I agree. From just kind of a pop culture sort of. I mean, Rocky is like,
I don't even know where that is. I call it Rocky, Philadelphia. I mean, Rockadelphia. That's
Rockadelphia. You might be right. They might have put it back up.
There seems to be a theme in the chat. People claiming they know about Star Wars, but they deny being nerds.
Nah, you're all nerds.
The twain have never met. They go hand in hand. Star Wars, nerd.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think I can say the word without being a nerd.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Glitch. Thank you, Glitch. You can always count on the chat. And here's an example. Since 2006, the statue has been located at the bottom of the stairs at the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
There you go.
Oh,
So not at the top anymore, but at the bottom.
But it's still there.
So they knocked him down quite a bit.
Yeah.
But they still. Well, I mean, especially since it's an art museum. I mean, that would almost make sense to have it there, right?
Yeah.
that's where the Creed statue is at now.
That's right. They took down Sylvester Stallone and put Creed up.
No, that's I mean, if
Well-read
it's Apollo
comic.
Creed, I wouldn't mind.
Well-read comics just take a umbrage to being called a nerd.
Well,
Yeah.
Too bad, nerd.
Yeah, well, he's the first one to complain. Now it's
they're
all complaining.
I used to take umbrage to being an award-winning artist, but now I sort of embrace it. Sort of embrace it now.
Well, it's what a coincidence. I take umbrage with you being an award winner.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Marcus is still lamenting that no one is drawing Kathleen Kennedy.
Eh, how do you draw that? I don't. That's not interesting.
Well, if you had somebody like Luke Skywalker stepping on her head or something,
Damn.
Oh, so you did have an idea for that. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put some thought to that.
I was just thinking you didn't have a good idea for it. Sounded like you
every
did.
once in a while. Every once in a while. Well, actually, it'd have to be Princess Leia, wouldn't it? Because it couldn't be a dude or the.
No, it'd have to be Gina Carano's character.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't
Perfect.
why wouldn't Lucas be the greatest Star Wars villain for having let go of his property?
Well, would he get like $3 billion for it? I'd let go of my property too.
He already had $3 billion.
Yeah, well, there's $3 billion more.
I heard he's trying to buy it back. He said, "Y'all messed this up so much. I got to come back to this."
There's no
He
way.
didn't know it either.
Well, he wanted to get rid of it because the fans were so brutal to him after those first the sequels.
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with a friend who told me that he's considering buying it back, and I was just thinking, man, if I was him and had his money, the kind of hobbies that type of money allows you. I mean, like I'd own a Formula One racing team, be jet setting around the world. Oh, give that all up, and all those parties in Monaco, give that up and start working on Star Wars again. I don't think so.
I'd erase all history of my ever being a part of this world with that kind of money. I would invest in, technology that would erase y'all's memories. Everybody would be like, "Where's Kelsey?" Who? Yeah,
Kelsey's young. He can win youth awards.
Then I would do a lot of things that I'm not going to talk about here. Because, I still am attached to my name, and you know who I am. So
I'm going to give up my partying on my yacht to tell people how to do Star Wars.
Well, it's like, I mean, when your fans are that ruthless, it's like, why would you want to put yourself in more pain and suffering? Because no matter what, even if you took it back and did something, people would start to be complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of his Star Wars, have those improved to you guys at all? Have you watched any of those, Aaron? The prequels? I don't even know what they're called. Episode
1, 2, and 3.
Whatever.
I didn't. I thought the guy that played Darth Vader was terrible.
Yeah, he's actually a good actor. It's just really weird.
Yeah, and then the whole romance thing between him and Padme was just, ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. He was just constantly whining, and
and I don't know. She was like, in the first movie, it's like, they get together and she's like 15 and he's like 8, and you're like, I don't like this.
I know. That was weird.
Very uncomfortable.
That was weird. Yep.
The only thing I liked in the first movie was that blue guy, Watto.
Oh yeah, you really like this Watto guy.
Well, the weird and uglier the better. That's makes.
I tell you what, I do love the design. The design of that. The design, that silver ship, the all the locations. I thought the design was impeccable in those.
Well, yeah, Darth Maul was cool, and it's like, what do they do?
Yeah.
They kill him in the first movie. It's like, come on, man, seriously?
Well, it's some of those characters. Kelsey had mentioned some of the cartoons that they have large storylines with some of these characters. And Darth Maul is featured. We get his backstory, and it's he's way creepier in the cartoon.
Do you know that for sure?
Yeah, I do. I've seen it.
You watched that show?
Yep.
Oh.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd.
Hold on a second. Change the subject here. Random Task says if Gary had that money, he'd buy Aaron a new pencil.
Oh, charge me interest on it probably too.
Well, no. You would sign it and charge me a lot of money.
That's right. 'Cause I'm an award-winning artist, and so then my signature's worth more money now.
Yep.
All right, almost there.
Almost. What does that mean? Like you're almost there to coloring, or you're
Yeah.
getting ready to?
So you've got a whole Norman Rockwell thing going on here.
I was going to draw the wall design behind there. F that. I don't think I'm going to do that.
What in the heck are you doing? That is nuts, man. It's like, is this an Etcher drawing? What the?
Well, yeah, it's a little storyline. See, this is right after he choked this guy. So the little robot's ushering that body out. So he's got a little skull above his head where he's dead. And Moff Tarkin is looking at Vader like, another one, and he's like, hey, well, that's what I do. And then there's like this whole line of other ones ready to pop up to be in his place right here.
Oh yeah.
So there's.
So does anybody know that character's name? Who's like sassing Vader in that scene?
Oh man, does he have a name?
He has to have a name, but I don't know if it was ever.
Oh, I'm sure someone in the chat knows the name. If they know the name of that garbage monster, how in the heck would they not know this guy's name?
So I was thinking about that dude. Of the nerve of that guy to sass Vader, and at that point he knew who Vader was. He knew what Vader could do, but yet he's mouthing off. Like he's.
So what you're saying?
Okay, what would motivate some little?
So you're saying
bureaucratic weasel to mouth off to Vader? So I was thinking 15 minutes beforehand, he's in his office, and his assistant comes in the room and says,
gaslighting him.
"Hey, there's a council meeting, emergency council meeting. You have to go to it right now. And oh, by the way, Vader's going to be there."
He's like, oh.
and he's like, "Uh-oh, Vader's going to be there." And he starts looking nervous, and the assistant's saying, "Oh, you're scared of Vader." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. I can tell you're scared of Vader." "No, I'm not. I'll show you."
And well, that's the way it goes.
And the rest is history.
Well, wait, he didn't kill him though, because Peter Cushing said.
Yeah, but he still mouthed off to him.
Yeah, but.
Well, he killed him later. Yeah, he's like,
okay.
"Yeah, I'll see you later, pal."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Old Moff Tarkin ain't around. What I want to know is why does he follow the orders of people like Grand Moff Tarkin? I mean, he's number 2 to the Emperor.
Well, at that point, he was not second in command.
Yeah, he was still working his way up the ladder, Kelsey. He still had to choke out a few more people.
Well,
he's off doing his whole.
Well, also because Darth Vader is like, he's not. They never put him in like that. He was like a big command.
Right. He wasn't like a general or anything.
Right. He was just kind of an enforcer.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, why didn't Grand Moff Tarkin, when he was like, "That's enough, Vader," and he's like, "You're not the boss of me,"
Well, because the Emperor put him in that position, so he's going to honor the Emperor's wish.
Yeah, he was the Emperor's apprentice, doing running his errands,
doing his
Emperor's.
Get my coffee.
Yeah.
Remember the scene with Mickey where he's mopping and that kind of thing.
Worked his way up the ranks.
Yeah. You got to start someplace, man. You can't start at the top.
Well, Red says we need Kelsey to save the Jedi Order.
You got to choke out a few people to work your way up the ladder, man. You can't just start at the top.
The Jedi Order.
Hold on a second. Let me scroll a little bit.
Fart smellers they are.
10-8 Comics says SJW Stormtrooper. Vader is rolling back the air quality restrictions on spaceships.
Oh, man.
Okay, Space Monkey says Vader is the second in command of the shadow government that ran the real government.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he had to kind of pretend like he was taking orders. Like,
well, no, I kind of. No, I mean, come on. Grandmama Tarkin, or what was his name? Was Grand Moff Tarkin. He was obviously, you know, a general that's been around for all. He was like Patton, you know, and and you know, climbed on board with the Emperor when he took over. So he's like, yeah, okay, you're my number one guy, but you know, I've got this apprentice here. He'll take your place eventually as soon as he chokes you out. And
yeah, he knew it was coming.
I love the confidence too. You know, he's just like, even though he's probably well aware of Vader, he's like, that's enough.
He was trying to prove a point to his assistant.
He's just very calm about the whole thing. Oh boy.
He's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Kind of like Kirk in the middle of a Spock and McCoy fight. You know, he just go, oh, okay, here we go.
Vader, don't you know how expensive these chaps are? Please refrain from killing all of them. It's not a very good impression of Grand Moff Tarkin.
No, you know,
Grand Moff Tarkin as the guy from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We are going to James Mason. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, James Mason. Someone should draw. I'm sorry.
Richard Baser, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
The Gordy Gypsy. Someone should draw Darth Vader in a HR meeting with Kathleen Kennedy getting reprimanded for being a toxic white male.
And he's just like he wants to choke so bad, and Moff Tarkin's like, no, Vader. No.
Yeah. Release her.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to.
I don't want to. She had this covered. I know, Vader.
You'll have your chance.
Kelsey, are you inking that tech without laying down the pencils? Are you like making that up as you go along?
Yes, because I'm running out of time here and patience.
That's a total manga move, man.
How dare you?
No, he's trying to bring it back. He's trying. He died, and he just won't let it rest.
The awards you've won have gone to your head.
This is classic American not giving a crap. You know, we do it the best, okay?
Right.
We don't give a crap better than anybody.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm doing my Paul Pope impression.
Okay.
Paul Pope, Star Wars.
I see it.
Paul Pope. Now there's a name I haven't heard.
You even do the voice.
Well played. That was good.
Who's a fan of old Alec Guinness black and white British films? He did a million of those, and they're all awesome.
I just watched Great Expectations.
Yeah.
And he's in that.
Yep.
And that movie, I mean, if the acting's all very dated and everything, but it looks very well done. Like
I mean, the costumes and everything. They have the carriages and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been done today. I mean, like, except for the, you know, just feels the acting and everything in it. But yeah, great movie. What's funny is I didn't realize that was I'd seen some movie with not Jude Law. It was like a remake of that. The prisoner from the beginning was De Niro. What am I thinking of? It wasn't called
The Prisoner of Zelda. Quit bringing up manga. Jeez.
What?
Huh? These are the jokes, people.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
What are you thinking of?
De Niro as the prisoner?
No. In it wasn't called Great Expectations. Maybe it was, but
you're not thinking of Tale of Two Cities, are you?
No.
Count of Monte Cristo?
Oh no, that was a great one. I actually like that. They did a movie like in the 90s or 2000s.
Yeah, with Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. Yeah.
And the dude from it had Superman he played the young lad. Henry Cavill played the young lad.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
that.
That's right. That's right. In the chat, there was something I was going to read. Hang on. Henry Bemis,
Do or
Alec
do not.
Guinness
Try.
was chagrined that he was most well known for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and Random Task is mentioning Bridge on the River Kwai being a great movie. That's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my all-time favorites.
It's same director, David Lean.
Yeah.
Did Great Expectations. Did what's that? Dr. Zhivago.
Yeah.
He did what's the one with the desert? The Man in the Desert. What is it?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia. Yeah. That makes me
The guy in the desert. You know that one, the guy in the desert.
Everybody knew what I was talking about, didn't they?
The Guy in the Desert.
I can't think of what's that. You mean Dune? I don't know.
Yeah, Dune. The thing with the big sand.
Nobody went to Dune. Everybody went to that one. Yeah.
Well, everybody knew that David Lean didn't direct Dune. It was David Lynch that directed Dune.
And a wonderful job he did too.
Oh my gosh! Being the biggest David Lynch fan too, he's my most hated director after that movie.
Is he really?
Oh, I hated it.
Did you see what's the one with Kyle MacLachlan and Pabst Blue Ribbon? What was that movie?
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Yeah, did you see
Yeah, I
that?
saw that. Yeah, I saw
The
those.
movie's rocks.
I had to like it because I was in film school.
I didn't like that.
Like it?
I didn't like that at all.
It was
Really?
brutal. That was a tough movie, but I did appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it. It was like the underbelly of this white
Right.
picket fence world, you know.
Yeah.
Then you see guys like sniffing, nitrous and being horribly abusive. What's his name?
It was more for me. It was more than underbelly. It was like internal organs.
That was a really rough movie.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was.
suggest that the reality of it's far worse than that was portrayed.
You might be right.
Yeah, but I thought it was great. I loved the. It was just uncomfortable too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was
I don't
just
know.
weird stuff going on that I never really understood. Like, what was who's the chick? What's her face's daughter? Help me out here. The lead gal in that movie. Her Ingrid Bergman's daughter.
Drawing a blank now. All of a
I
sudden.
can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Help us out.
But anyway, wasn't she? Didn't they have her husband? They kidnapped her husband, and then he cut his ear off or something. And it was just like, it was like you kind of walked right into the middle of this like bizarro sort of blackmail and kidnapping and torture stuff, and you're like, who is what's his face? Who
Okay,
played?
Henry Bemis, Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Candace
Rossellini.
Bergen.
Thank you, Henry.
Rossellini.
Who was I can't think of his name now. The guy that the psycho guy in that movie.
Bad guy from Speed.
Yeah. See, it's like as soon as you need to think of somebody's name, it's like immediately leaves. Anyway, I kind of felt like, and granted, I've only seen this movie once, and it was like when it came out, so my memory may be a bit foggy, but it's like, didn't they have like Isabella Rossellini's husband? He kidnapped him.
You talking about Dennis Hopper?
Yeah,
Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
Okay,
Dennis
Henry
Hopper.
Bemis strikes again.
Yeah, so Dennis Hopper has him like tied up in this like grungy apartment or something, and they cut his ear off and sent it to her. I could never figure out what was actually, why was he had this guy kidnapped? What was he trying to get? I mean, it was some, I don't know, very bizarre.
None of that sounds familiar. I don't know if that's the movie. Is that the movie? Check. I certainly don't remember any of that.
Where you blacked out during that?
Is that Romeo's Bleeding? Maybe that was what that was.
No, this was
Another Rossellini movie, I think.
The Gordy Gypsy is laying down like a continuous gag on the line, the guy in the desert. Okay, let's see if I can get them all here. The guy in the desert. I hate this. I'll see. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get them all.
Gotta get them all.
Hold on, let me get
Guy in
at
the
least
desert.
Collect
one.
them all. The guy in the desert.
Guy in the
collects.
desert, the Book of Eli.
Yeah.
And there's another one. Guy in the desert, Tremors.
Good one, yeah.
I'm sorry, I know you did more. I didn't see them all. Okay,
Moses?
Sir Nolan of Lockhart, welcome to another episode of Old Guys Trying to Remember Things.
Yeah, not very well. Yeah, pretty much.
I can tell you this red chick right now has got like tattoos, and everybody draws her tattoos differently.
That's
Of course
what
they
you
do.
say. Yeah. So you say.
So I guess I have the freedom to do whatever the heck I want.
Henry Jeremick, Missing an Ear, Reservoir Dogs, Van Gogh, Swamp Thing.
Yep. Seriously, no. This was in Blue Velvet. Just 'cause
Okay, Art of Roy, Guy in the Desert, Don Johnson and a Dog.
Was that,
That was-
the
that
boy
was
and his dog?
That wasn't a bad movie. Boy and His Dog.
I just can't stand Harlan Ellison. don't know
I
why.
can't either, personally or
Both.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. He's
Please tell us your
Creative.
noted futurist story again. I always enjoy that.
Oh god.
what
Okay.
now?
I was at the Inkpot Awards as a observer, not a nominee, and at San Diego. And I was sitting at the table with Clyde Nee, Alex Gordon, or yeah, is that the inker's name?
Alex, Alex
Al Gore.
Gordon.
Al Gordon. Yeah, Al Gordon.
Okay.
And Alex
Al
Raymond
Gordon.
was there, and no. And let's see, who else was at that table? Me, I was there. Harlan Ellison and his wife, I guess, or she seemed like younger, but I think it was his wife. And so they're, I'm just sitting around there. I'm a nobody, and so I didn't really say anything. I was just listening, right? And listening to this conversation going back and forth. And I thought at one point, I've been here long enough, I can interject a question, right? And so Harlan Ellison said something, and then I asked a question about what he had said, and he looked at me, and then he turned away and started talking again. And that really pissed me off.
So I've not heard that part.
And yeah, he started it. I mean, I was like, no, you don't treat people like that,
He
man.
started it, Bob.
Yeah, he started it. And so I waited for a moment, then I said, and he had been doing those car commercials, right? The what were they called?
I can't remember. They were like really cheap cars.
Yeah, some futuristic car, right? And I said, and they called him in the commercial, the car Kia. Was it a Kia? No, it wasn't a Kia.
Something like that.
Yugo.
Yeah. And
like that.
they said at the bottom, when he started the car commercial, it said at the bottom, it said, noted futurist Harlan Ellison. And he talks about this car, right? And
noted litigious douchebag.
Yeah. Right. Let's just say it was a Kia for the sake of the story, right?
Okay.
So he's so I said there was a lull in the conversation. I go, I got another question for you, if you don't mind. I said what exactly is a noted futurist? And
oh my god, the slow turn to look at you with horror with.
Oh well, that pissed him off, right? And I said,
yeah,
great, he's as pissed off as I am, right? So now we're on equal footing. And so he says, he goes, well, what the hell do you think it is, smart ass? And I said, well, I'd assume it's someone who talks about the future and at least one person takes note of it. And oh man, his head just like exploded.
Did he go into a whole diatribe about what a futurist is?
He was just like blah 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 blah, and he said
he probably got paid a lot of money for that commercial.
Yeah, he probably did. And he says, I'll have you know this, and he was just berating me and blah blah blah. And he goes, and you want to know why I did that commercial? And I go, I don't know, for the money. And he goes,
Exactly.
he goes, I would never endorse anything that I didn't believe in, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, sure.
And as just as he was diatribing about that, Len Wein walks by, right? Co-creator of Swamp Thing and other, and
He's my favorite. Len was my favorite editor.
It was a Geo Metro is what it was. And he goes, Len, and Wein stops and he goes, yeah, and he goes, tell this asshole that I drive a Geo, and he goes, oh no, not the Geo again, and walks off.
Wow.
And so it was just
so he was annoying to everyone,
apparently. And so I had a good laugh about that. And so then as the conversation went along, they kind of phased me out of the conversation again, with a few insults or whatever. And then later he said something, and I interjected a joke, and he looks at me and he goes, oh, he just assumed because I was, the comic book artist, that I lived in New York. And so he goes, oh, I guess that's what passes for New York humor these days. And I go, I'm not from New York. And he goes, really? Where are you from? And I said, Beaverton, Oregon. He goes, I've been to Beaverton. And then we started talking about Beaverton, and we were like buddies for the rest of the evening. The weirdest thing.
I thought you were one of those New York a-holes. I didn't know you were a real human being.
Yeah, it goes, Beaverton. I've been to Beaverton. And then we just started talking, and it was the weirdest.
I think that's his version of waving the white flag.
Yeah, he's like, I got to get out of this. This guy. Usually I'm the obnoxious one. This guy, I got to hold a candle to this guy.
At some point, you're someone like Harlan Ellison, you got to go, why am I wasting my time arguing with this nobody?
Yeah, I had no idea who you were.
Respect for me, if only I'd been an award-winning artist at that point, I could have dropped that off.
That's when you let it go all calm, and then you're like, so which part of Terminator did you create? Is it the robots with the skulls?
Did he claim to created?
Yeah, he's got his name on every time it shows up now, based on the works of Harlan Ellison, and they did that just to shut him up.
Well, so he was claiming that they ripped off one of his short stories or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's like, if it was any jerk off out there, yeah, maybe I'd buy that, but James Cameron, I mean, I don't know, man. I imagine James Cameron a hell of a lot smarter than Harlan Ellison, but what do I know? An actual futurist.
Well, I wonder, if he claimed that, he must have been able to produce some he took it from this or he took it from that, instead of just saying, well, in general, these are my concepts or something. I mean, I don't understand what his.
Well, I mean, how hard is it to come up with an idea of a time traveler who comes back in time to assassinate someone? I mean, I'm sure there's 10 episodes of Twilight Zone that Harlan Ellison did not write that are about the same thing.
Oh, is that what he's saying? It was he lifted it from a Twilight Zone episode?
No. I mean, he's saying, yeah, some short story. I don't know which one it was, but or some novel. Honestly, I don't remember. But I know he's can't watch a Terminator film without Harlan Ellison's name showing up.
Well,
see, your dog doesn't even like it.
I know. I say you don't say Harlan Ellison in this house. It's like it's like Young Frankenstein when they said Al Bluca. The horse would go nuts.
Dad's Den of pop culture. I'm not a New York a-hole. I'm a Beaverton a-hole.
Yeah.
Well,
learn the difference. A-hole.
Yeah, exactly, you jerk. That was a really weird thing, and everybody was just like, they could not believe that I was talking to him like this at the table, but he got me so ticked off by, being so incredibly arrogant and disrespectful to me when I was just I was just trying to, fit in a little bit into the conversation. I wasn't interrupting anybody or anything, and I couldn't take that. I was like, dude, no.
Yeah, I mean, if you standing up to him probably was more intriguing to him than not, That's
possibly, yeah. The funny thing
Who
is,
are we talking about?
Harlan Ellison.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Howard Chaykin.
No, he's
I
enough.
know Howard
director,
too,
but
but
I don't know. I feel like Howard Chaykin's is a bit earned. You know, like he seems like, you know, you don't go to the guy who's in the foxhole and you know, call him a jerk off or whatever. You know, that's a guy who's like in the trenches, like, you know, dealing with the man. And
You don't have to call him one because he knows he's one.
yeah, yeah, true.
well,
You're probably proud of it.
Yeah.
Howard was always I don't know, he was always a bit caustic, is that the right word for it? But he was
That's
always
being
sort of,
diplomatic.
yeah, he was but he was always sort of good natured about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, he would insult you, but they'd kind of do it with a smile on his face. Where Harlan Ellison was just like, you know, aloof.
He was, yeah. James Murphy. There's a theme running through the chat right now, and James Murphy sums it up. I came up with the idea of time travel in the 1700s. Just got to go back and do it yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Everybody, we had big conversations we had an episode on professionals. In fact, Billy just had Roy Thomas on. I couldn't go because I had to take Shelley to a doctor's appointment, but they were talking to Roy's recollection of just like 2 days ago about, you know, the Kirby Lee debate about who created what kind of thing, right?
Mm.
And Roy was a little bit more on Stan's side, but we read this interview that Kirby had done. It was it was like in the 90s or early 90s, I think. I can't remember. It was one of those. I don't know if it was for the Comics Journal or something like that. One of those really long, extended interviews. And of course, he was just, you know, he hated Stan at the time, and he was, you know, according to him, he created everything, and everybody ripped him off. And you sit there and you think about it, and you know, if you come up with an idea that's even remotely similar to something that someone else then later comes up with, and it's super successful, it's super easy to kind of talk yourself into, well, that guy ripped me off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we wondered just how much of that was going on in Kirby's memory, you know? Oh, I created Spider-Man. You're like, you really didn't. And but he believed he did, because he did something called the Spider, like in the 50s, and it looked.
Well, he took a first pass at the original at the before Ditko did it.
Yeah, but he didn't come up with that costume design.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't use his stuff because he didn't. You know, he was too.
I think it's
Captain America-y.
It's probably all true. You know, like Stan did do a lot. I like Stan. You know, he's one of the best pitchmen comics ever had.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was curious the other day because I heard somebody non-comic related make a serious. They were like quoting, "With great power comes great responsibility," and they were not referring to any comic. They were just saying it as a quote that you say.
Yeah, that's become a cultural
Right.
phrase that a lot of people don't know where it came from.
Did that originate from Stan? If so, that alone is remarkable achievement in contributing to the zeitgeist, because that is a very poignant thing to say that is resonant even today.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever tried to say, oh, no, he got this from here. I've never seen that in my entire life where someone came up with that quote and said,
Right.
oh, no, it was
But I mean, did Stan have that? I mean, did Jack have that scribbled in his margins of his thing?
No,
you know, like whatever. Or
Stan
Ditko?
is very much a wordsmith, and he knew
Yeah.
how to, you know, put words in people's mouths and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think people like Ditko and Kirby, because it's a visual medium, you know, they rightfully should put a premium on their stuff and say, hey, this is how much I contributed, and if they don't feel if it's fair, they should speak up. But
It's a different time.
just like in the Bob Kane situation, you guys weren't businessmen and you didn't think about business. Bob Kane did. He brought his uncle, who was a lawyer, to come in and negotiate his contract, and he got his name on everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that guy I was referring to earlier, Owen Fitzgerald. I mean, nobody knows who that guy is, but he's probably done more comics than 90% of everybody who's ever drawn comics. You know,
I think
done
people get ticked off when one party out of a two-party system, whether it's Bob Kane and Bill Finger or Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, when one guy gets all the glory and the other guy ends up, and then Jack didn't end up in poverty, but Bill Finger certainly did.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, why couldn't you have just, this guy maybe did the lion's share of the work, and how can you just like kick him to the curb like that?
But see, the thing is like they all knew it. Why didn't anybody say anything? Because like I was reading my Will Eisner book, A Spirited Life, and he talks about it. He talks about what kind of person Bob Kane was, in a respectful way, because that's who Will Eisner is. He was a very respectful guy, but he was shockingly honest about the people about things that were going on. And he had that kind of assessment of Bob Kane as well, that he didn't like to draw. So he straight up said it in the book. It's like he'd rather be one of the guys that just tells people what to do,
Yeah, right.
Well, plus if you're, like ours, you work in the industry, people's reputations. Even if you have not worked with them, you hear reputation. So that was, I'm sure that was common knowledge, to your point, Kelsey, that was common knowledge within the industry.
Yeah. So it being like a big deal, I mean, like, how come it wasn't then? I mean, it was just different time. Like that, like I was saying, that Owen Fitzgerald guy, he'd done so much, never, barely had his name. He was at a time where they didn't even put your name on these books,
Yeah.
So he's done.
But it's like the life of a freelancer, though. You hear these things, but you need work, and they haven't screwed you yet. So take the job until you do get screwed.
And the thing is, we always talk about this too, is that during that period of time, no one expected these things to amount to anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They were thankful just to get a paycheck. They didn't,
Yeah.
And that's all it was just a paycheck. Yeah.
Kirby wasn't sitting around going, "Oh, they're going to make a Captain America movie someday." You know what I mean? It's just like,
well, he thought about that stuff. I went to a Comic-Con when I was like in my 20s, where he was a
I'm
guest.
talking about when he created it, though.
And he talked about film, superhero films, Captain America movies, like it was already a thing.
Look, it was a thing because they made serials of Captain America. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
But he visualized Captain America on the big screen, fighting Nazis and throwing a shield and doing all that, and he described it as if he had actually seen it. It was that compelling the way he talked about it. But this was like the late 70s when he was talking about this stuff. So I'm kind of missing out a little bit. Aaron, you've got a super chat that was put up a few minutes ago.
Okay. No, there's actually a few here. Neil Orr for $3. Thank you, Neil. He didn't say anything, but he just sent $3. Appreciate that. Kino reviews for $1.99. Based AF Leia will never be the same again.
I agree.
When was she ever based?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Well, AF means based as,
well, I mean, yeah, she told it like it is. She was based. So was the actress who played her. That's probably more where that comes from.
Oh, I see. Terminator thing is because Son of Liberty Radio for $5. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Terminator thing is because Cameron, he watched a lot of Twilight Zone writing the script and saw the episode Soldier and might have borrowed concepts.
Yeah, could be.
Well, I mean, but again, everybody, we're all sort of products of everything we've sort of absorbed in pop culture and those kind of gotten our ideas, right? So it's like, there's one thing to blatantly rip somebody off. There's another thing to say, oh, that time travel soldier thing, that's a good idea. What if I did it like this? That's not the same thing as stealing your idea.
Well, the time travel soldier part is such a, it's not, that's not even the crux of the story. It's only like part of it. It's more like about the time traveling assassin.
Yeah.
Is that in his book?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's that's an excellent point. It's like people have asked me, like, where did you come up with this Kit Carter idea? And I'm like, the bubble helmet space girl has been a trope for, since pulp magazines. It's like, I didn't come up with this at all. It's my take on it.
Yeah, you recognize that it's cool.
Yeah, I like it. And so now what can I do with this to, make it fun or interesting or, whatever.
Who was the first person to ever do Space Girl with the bubble helmet?
That's a good question.
Because, I mean, that was an early, the fishbowl helmet was how sci-fi was back in the day. But who's the first one to put like a hot girl in it?
Well, probably, even before EC, it's probably like pulp magazines.
It was probably the Italians. You watch those Italian sci-fi knockoffs, and all the babes in that are hot. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Well, but no, seriously, you guys, you can go back to pulp magazines and they're on the cover. Of chicks in bikinis.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Space bubble.
That's what I was referring to. Yeah, that's always the dudes had, heavy equipment and layered spacesuits, and the women were in bikinis.
Yeah, exactly. And bikinis in space.
Just some random artist, and the editor was like, "Hey, put the chick in this fishbowl outfit."
Yeah.
Or whatever you say, guy. That's dumb, but okay.
Yeah. Probably
should be a man in that fishbowl helmet, but whatever I'll do it if it comes with.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Yeah. We'll just give it a shot. Let's just do it.
Let's go see what happens.
Okay.
A Stan Lee type.
Yeah.
But to the broader point with that is, and this, I tried to make this point we talked about on the professionals, was that, if Stan hadn't, let's just say the story is relatively true as Stan tells it, right? And he calls up Ditko and says, I've got this idea for a character called Spider-Man. And maybe he doesn't have much else. And he gives it to Ditko, and Ditko does the costume and fleshes the whole thing out, right? The question is still there. Would Ditko have ever done that if Stan hadn't called him up and said, hey, I want to do this thing called Spider-Man as a teenager, come up with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
you have to have some credit for starting the conversation when, guarantee a Ditko or Kirby, Kirby was different, I guess, because he created a lot of his own stuff anyway, but
Ditko had other concerns, you could tell by the characters that he did create and follow through with. They're all very much based on his philosophies and stuff. That was way more interesting to him than Spider-Man,
But like with Doctor Strange, did
that was more along Ditko as far as I can tell, right? That was way more Ditko than Spider-Man was, right?
That was my understanding, but again, I don't know for certain, right? I mean, how much did Stan go, hey, we need something different, like maybe something with magic or something, And again, that's not saying much. And then Ditko does all the heavy lifting, but at the same time, he's still. To me, that's like George Lucas hiring Ralph McQuarrie and going, we need some really cool spaceships. What can you do?
What is the argument we're having? Wait. What is the argument we're having right now? Is that
how
he didn't get credit or he didn't get the business?
No, how easy it is to believe that you're a part of the creative process, even if you don't contribute much, depending on where you're at.
I'm gonna take the unpopular approach on this right now. These people were work for hire. Yeah. Just like I'm a work for hire doing this stuff for Ethan.
Right.
I designed some stuff, but I didn't, say, hey, now we're co-creators on this.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the unpopular I mean, maybe that's not what I didn't think we were.
No, but people like Ditko think, well, they think that the business has to be nice and say, oh, well, you did this and it made this much money, we're going to include you in this business. They'll never do that. That's not how business works.
I've never been paid for the Batman Adventures covers that have made it into digest form and every other thing. I've never been paid a dime for any of it.
It's theirs. They could do with it whatever they want, and whatever springs forth from it is theirs.
Right. I mean, you could fault the creator by just saying, dude, you did not have enough foresight like Bob Kane did. You know, that, hey, this might turn into something.
Bob Kane didn't have the foresight. His uncle did.
Well,
Bob Kane was 16 years old. He didn't know about business, but his uncle did, who's a lawyer. He understood. And people want to make Bob Kane out to be the bad guy. No, it's the business.
Yeah, I don't think any of these guys were prepared for just how massive all that stuff would be. I mean, like you're just doing a job. You're drawing a silly character for kids. Who would have thought it'd been $1 billion?
I'll bring up another point is that after Superman hit, everybody knew there was a consumer products because nothing but toys and little tchotchke stuff and a ton of Superman merch was out there at that time. So all of a sudden, all these other independent companies, just like how we have now, started popping up and doing likened characters to Superman, to Batman, to who, and it because they wanted their things to be the next things that kids go, oh, so they understood, they knew it could have been a serial or a movie or a TV show or whatever, because it was at the beginning state of all of this stuff. Look, there's a Superman serial, there was a Batman one, there was a Captain Marvel, Green Hornet, Lone Ranger. It was all of that stuff out there so they understood. So I can't use that excuse for them to, they didn't understand and blah, blah, blah. No, it's a business. You didn't take care of your business. There's so many of us in this business that don't take care of their business.
Well, there's that's why I take advantage of Kelsey every chance I get. But I'm saying though is that the reason you have this sort of popular opinion is like the case with Bill Fingers, and a perfect example is like, here's this guy who maybe did the lion's share of the work in creating Batman and making him what he was, dying in poverty in this, one.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And the fact that Bob Kane knew this and didn't, so they look at these people and then say, well, they don't look at them as a corporate entity. They look at these as just cold, soulless people that won't even, help out someone who really did the lion's share of the work. And even though you own it, would it kill you to, help the guy out?
Okay, that's a whole other thing then. That becomes something else.
That's why these opinions get formed, because Jack Kirby's the guy who got screwed over, not Stan Lee, right? So,
but even then, that's something that everybody knew, but it didn't stop anybody from making stuff for these companies. Everybody knew this stuff.
And the thing is that it also didn't stop Bill Finger from going to comic book conventions and drawing the Joker and doing all. He understood what he signed.
Aaron,
I like him and I appreciate him, and I do wish he could have got millions of dollars and all that other kind of stuff, but he didn't take care of that business.
It was a nice thing to do for a corporation that's made $20-something billion off of something that you made. And maybe throw them a bone, maybe. Hey, how about that? They don't have to. You're right. They can be assholes, and they do. They are.
Norm Brayfogle still has the longest run on Batman, and he shouldn't have had to ever ask for work after that, but he had to.
Well, that's a different thing, though, because
how's that?
Well, he didn't create the character.
It doesn't matter. I'm just if you're talking about just the moral obligation of doing something to keep the machine going. This man put in like day and night getting these books out on time.
Well, how come other people got jobs and he didn't? There has to be something else, because there was a lot of people in the same position he was that never stopped working, David. Why did he?
Well, because I'll tell you what happened is
maybe he was a jerk.
No, he went to do the Ultraverse book. They gave him a bonus of I think they paid him 10 or 20 grand. I have to ask Dave Olbrich for the exact number, but I think they paid him 10, 15 grand, something like that, as a bonus if he'd come over and do this book, which then pissed off DC.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they just stayed pissed off at him.
Oh, okay. So he was on a list. I've been on that DC list.
I'm on it again, surprisingly.
Did you get 10 grand for it though, Kelsey?
No, I did not.
But see, what you're asking before when you were saying why doesn't he get work, you're asking these moral questions about a business. The business is going to be as cold as it's going to be. Right. And our editors who ever give us work, that becomes something else also. That's the you know,
I mean, he could have just been out of the flavor of the month.
Exactly. But he should have never
he
should have never been. He should have just always been able to get work. Am I saying should he be on Batman forever? No, you could put him on something that could keep him fed. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, like, there's a lot of people that did do that. So did he overprice himself because he was the Batman guy?
I don't think so.
So, I mean, just wondered, there has been some, because, I mean, like, what's a contemporary of him? The guy that ended up going on to draw Superman for years.
John Bogdanov?
Bogdanov. And he was, like, relatively unknown. I was a fan of his Marvel stuff.
I was a huge fan. Still am.
Yeah, but, I mean, he didn't really make, like, I'll say John Bogdanov, and I'm thinking Power Pack, I'm thinking, like, the Executioners, I'm thinking all kinds of stuff from Marvel. And then... not Executioners. What the hell was I thinking of? Anyway, but then you ask your normal guy and just an average guy, they're going to say Superman because he did years worth of that, and it was like a whole other style at that point. So I mean, he stayed relevant somehow. Dan Jurgens never was out of work. Maybe in parts and times.
Yeah, but look, you can't. A lot of that is politics too.
Right? Well, that's what I'm saying. So it ain't just, you know, how come they didn't give him work? There has to be something else because there's plenty of people that worked.
It's always
let me interrupt for a second. Two things. One, Aaron, you have a super chat, and two, what's the clock situation?
Oh, geez.
I don't know how to color this. I don't know what.
My gosh, Kelsey, you just went nuts, man.
He went all Steranko on us.
He did. Yeah. No time for color. Let's see. Verdo Frady for $2 says Stand History of Marvel Comics 1974 is a great read. Stand? Is that Stan's History of Marvel Comics? Maybe?
Is it like autobiographical or something?
I know. Was it Marvel Comics? The Untold Story is a pretty good read, actually.
Yeah, that is packed with behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't read that one. I don't read that.
No,
is that one that big giant coffee table book? Is that one that's like a big coffee table book?
No, it's like it's a they probably haven't paper. It was a hardcover, but it was smaller book, and it just has like there's no art on it. It just says kind of in like comic book handwriting, the untold story of Marvel.
It's like fun interviews of freelancers telling like the origins of the companies and their shifty ways.
I mean, it's fascinating that there's. Roy Thomas said something I thought that was really kind of funny on this recent interview I was talking about on Billy Tucci's show. He just said, you know, there's only a handful of people that even care about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and but it causes quite a bit of debate amongst them.
Yeah.
You know, because they really do care a lot about it. And that was kind of an interesting take because my mom has no idea who Jack Kirby is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Most people don't. I mean, more people know who Stan Lee is, but even then, if you're outside of that sort of Marvel movie, Marvel comics purview, you don't know who Stan Lee is.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a band, you know who the front man is a lot of times.
Right.
I was at a show and someone got a Stan Lee autograph and they're like, oh man, the guy who drew Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
almost took that
I
signature
saw-
from him and ripped it
I
up.
saw interviews when Stan was being credited as Stan Lee Presents when he wasn't doing anything for Marvel. He was just a PR person, but they were still crediting him as doing everything.
Mhm.
And the public thought that, and I saw an interview where the interviewer asked Stan about drawing Spider-Man, and Stan did not correct him. Stan, so he perpetuated the idea that he wrote and drew Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you could use that same argument with filmmakers who say, even Spielberg said, I storyboarded this sequence. He never mentions the army of storyboard artists that he has doing it for him.
Yeah.
He says he storyboarded it.
yeah.
So I don't know if that's like just taking the reins. You're the guy in charge. You're the one making the decisions. Therefore, you're the one. You're the one taking the heat as well as taking the.
Well, if your company
glory.
policy is to screw the freelancers, then you would want
Is that in writing
and
somewhere?
taking credit for everything.
Yeah, I wonder if that's in writing.
Well, I think,
Article 2(1)(a) screw over artists.
I think these guys, they get in a position like Stanley gets in a position of power and has a reputation, and he's a company man.
Yeah.
And it's like the more credit you give to the freelancers, the less credit Marvel Comics gets. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so,
no, that's what I mean. That's my point, is that it's a position of the company to
I
Right.
just think he was a complicated, almost like a human being. He was complicated because I've heard him in tons of interviews where he gives credit overwhelmingly, and he talks about how horrible of an artist he is, a writer and everything, and he's just following. I've heard him.
Well,
say all
I'm
these
assuming
things.
that was because he's responding to the criticism of him not giving credit.
Well, no, I mean, if you
No,
watch,
no. I've heard
Yeah.
what Kelsey's talking about.
Yeah, if you watch like those videos of like, there was an interview with Kurtzman, and Kurtzman was the same way. Harvey Kurtzman. Kurtzman was like very, and maybe that's because he was interviewing Kurtzman that he was being so low key, because he knows Kurtzman was, and he has like
This was Stan Lee and Kurtzman talking?
yeah, and it wasn't only that, but one of the most humble human beings on the planet was there with him, Jack Davis.
Right.
So it was like a humble brag party where they were all like, yeah, whatever, I'm terrible, and I was trying to get work and blah blah blah, just doing that. And yeah, Stan was right there with him. He was giving giving all credit to like Kurtzman's
Yeah, well, I could have seen
genius.
Stan reading the room and deciding to go with the flow.
That's true. Yeah, that's one of his talents, probably.
So, Aaron,
Exactly right.
you,
clock.
well, you got someplace to be?
He said, I got to be in that kitchen.
Yeah,
my stomach is speaking.
Same.
Well, I guess technically we should be done, but since I'm on my third, I'm
Yeah,
on my
what's
third
the
chapter.
clock to an award-winning?
Exactly. You can't put a timeline on artistic genius. Let me finish this chick's phaser, and then we'll, or whatever it's called.
Phaser.
What are they called?
Phaser beam,
Light
Yeah,
phaser.
did you get that, chat? He called it a phaser.
Yeah.
The hell was I thinking?
I remember playing phaser tag when that came out.
There's a great video where this guy showed how he came up with the sound effects for the lightsaber.
Ben Burt.
Was it Ben Burt? Did he do the sound?
I'm assuming. Didn't he do all the sound for first few movies?
Yeah, but it was this weird combination of like 5 or 6 different things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember seeing, just recently watching the video going, oh, that's pretty cool.
There was a great like classic video of him doing that, and I'm sure they still use this footage, but it shows him going out to one of those giant telephone, the super tall towers that have the cable. They have these cables that like hold it down. Well, he goes over to one of them and taps it, and it makes the sound of the damn blaster.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, he didn't even have to do anything to that one. It was like,
Yeah, but
Like, how did he even know that?
Yeah, I just know that's the thing, right?
he's just experimenting.
Yeah, those sound guys are constantly messing around with that. Kind of stuff.
It's really wild.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to talk about thinking outside the box. What would happen if I climbed up this power pole and hit that thing with a wrench?
I mean, I know immediately. I'm
I
going
know what you're talking about.
What?
I know what you're talking about. That vibration sound, that electronic vibration sound.
Yeah.
Well, if I thought of that, I would say, "Oh, if I did that, I'd die." Don't do that.
I'm not going to do that.
So who came up with that sound of War of the World with the alien blasters? Remember that?
Oh yeah,
the original film.
Yeah.
That's a pretty intense sound.
Yeah. Huh. How did they come up with the blob in the Steve McQueen movie? Like, are they eating their Jello at lunch? Going, wait a minute. Anyway, all right. I guess we should call it good because none of us are going to be done here in the next 30 minutes. So
I might be.
You might be. Well, you're Kelsey, Speed Kelsey. So anyway, we'll start with me, and I'll admit that I did a few drawings, but I like where I'm going. I'm just not there yet.
You'll get there.
We got started with sand people and had a bunch of dead Jawas back here.
Oh wow!
I was going to say, where are the Ewoks? But I don't know.
Yeah,
so we ended up going with this.
Whoa!
Hold on. What was the second one?
I started working on Jabba the Hutt, and then I didn't even get very far. I just bailed. When I saw the pictures of the red chick, I was like, hey now.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Can you fit one of those pig dudes in there?
Yeah, she has no tattoos yet. I got to put those on her. But there's the Gamorrean guard. Although
Aaron, I have to give you kudos for the hips.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about hips, man.
Hips.
I will say this though: if she cut his head off with a lightsaber, he wouldn't be dripping, right? Because it would have cauterized the wound.
Nerd. Science nerd.
So anyway, it's science nerd. So anyway, I'll work on this a little bit more and get her tattooed up and maybe a little red paint on there and call it good. But it's a work.
Yeah, nice.
Skull Natcher says Aaron could have won if he had finished. Of course, it's not a competition, so
not sure anybody finished.
Those are award. Oh, wait a minute. Here's those are award-winning hips. He said.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Already working on your awards for next year. I see.
That's right. Best booty,
best hips, and yeah.
Let's take a look at what Kelsey's up to here. Oh wait, that's David.
What's David doing?
He's filling black.
We'll go back to David in a minute. Hang on. Okay, Kelsey, let's see what you got here.
Okay.
Shoot us.
Let me see if I focus here. So yeah, the story goes, Darth Vader whacks that guy. Mom Tarkin's giving him that's uncalled for. He's like, what did I do?
That even looks like Christopher Lee.
And then,
I'm sorry, Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing, yeah. And so and all the other guys are like, oh
yeah.
We got this typical Star Wars Empire hair.
Yeah,
bald guy, and of course, there's a bunch of guys ready to go to take his place.
They're not too happy.
No, of course not. But then, down here, this is where they're going to take his body eventually.
Oh my God.
This is great. I really like this.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I got to finish.
The robot again. Show him being taken away again. Upper lip.
Yeah. There's This is a prime example of why Kelsey was voted the best new talent.
Yeah, I got promise.
Hang in there, kid.
I'm gonna finish coloring all this gray with little. You can see little bit of skin tone. That's all they need. Just
a little bit.
Because they're all dying inside. They don't have a lot of blood.
Right.
Yeah,
they're in space. They don't have any pigment.
Dad's Den of Pop Culture says that's really good.
It is.
Dumbest Name says, dang, Kelsey.
I like the one bit of color draws my eye right over here. So none of this is important at all. It's all this guy.
He's waiting for lunch.
Yeah.
I love Darth Vader's big cartoon eyes. Like, what? I didn't do anything.
What? What?
Gnomsky says that's Gary and Aaron waiting their turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, Kelsey, says Comic Hinterlands.
Then all my Kirby, non-Kirby brush tech in here.
Mm-hmm. The Geordie Gypsy says, how does Kelsey do this? Tell us your secret, award-winning artist, new talent showcase.
I just don't care. You guys care way too much. I'm just trying to draw something in 2 hours.
Spambot says, we got Gonk Droid. Everyone wins.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Very, very good. That's,
Thank you.
Once again, Kelsey shames us all with his storytelling. Let's see what David's got to show. Ooh. Very close to being done. Very cool.
He's going to have that red, that magic red. So.
Yeah,
I got red coming in mine too, so look out.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to throw some red in here somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, it's coming out good.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, that's a nice pose.
I'm going to be checking those face tattoos to make sure they're accurate.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. You don't mess with
it's like Rorschach. They just change, right?
Were those tattoos or pigment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's an answer. But I don't know.
Michael says I'd buy prints of Kelsey's illustration. Rand Arrington says he loves it, David.
Thank you, buddy.
Diet Milk says Darth Shopping Mall. That's pretty funny.
Darth Maul Tarkin.
David, how many Star Wars characters have you drawn?
None.
I mean, ever? Like this is your first Star Wars?
That's what I thought.
Seriously? You've never drawn any Star Wars characters?
Yeah, no.
I think even I've maybe drawn a Darth Vader once.
I think I did C-3PO when I was a kid.
Dang, that's a hard one.
Yeah, lost my mind.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that.
And
be drawing Jabba. It's an easy one.
The only Star Wars characters anybody ever requested was like, can you do Princess Leia in the slave outfit? Like,
of course. Yeah, I need to do one of those now to get that out of my system.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we're almost at 4 o'clock, so we've gone way over. Just to accommodate Kelsey's machinery there.
Am I the one that was
the high tech concept art?
Yeah, not the award winner who started 3 drawings.
He's got a lot to live up to now that he's award winner Aaron Presti.
Right.
That's right. And
that was my point at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment real quickly. I put the links in the description of this video for all of our campaigns. If you get a wild hair, you might want to go back. Kit Carter, Planet Doom graphic novel, colored by Kelsey Shannon. How about that?
Yay!
If you can't get enough Kelsey, get some more of this. Kit Carter hardcover. Kit Carter.
Not only that, but award-winning Aaron Lopresti colored by award-winning colorist Kelsey Shannon.
That's right. Look at this. This cover by award-winning cover artist Aaron Lopresti, colored by award-winning color artist Kelsey Shannon. It's the best of everything right there.
And this book is the dictionary definition of what's not to like.
There you go. Thank you, Gary. So anyway, there's tons of stuff on here. There's a Gary Martin pinup right there. How about that?
Yeah.
There's going to be a little Dan Lawless action in this book as well.
Yeah, I saw Dan's piece. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, intrigued.
You haven't seen it? I'll bring it up.
Oh, dude.
Yes, let's see it.
Hey, you got a Dan Lawless piece and you ain't sharing? What's up? Gonna have to wait for him to put it on his show. Holy smacks,
man!
See, this is where lowering the camera, Gary, helps a lot.
Yeah.
Aaron, don't you hate it when someone draws your character better than you?
You lousy son. No,
He's looking for the Canon footage right now. Where's my Canon?
No, dude. The face and hair on this are just beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
just
This
stunning.
is like, this is like Elfgren.
She's got great eyes.
Yeah.
So he did what you said you wouldn't do when everybody was chastising you.
What's that?
Nipples.
I didn't put him in there. In fact, I'm
with the gun and blowing out the smoke.
I didn't do it.
I know, but he did it, and you're all right with it. It looks great.
Well, I know because I didn't do it.
Wait a minute. Is that like a little hole in her glass right there?
No, she doesn't know that she can't blow out the smoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I just, it's one of those things. It's a bit suggestive, but it's so well done. How can you not use it? So I do. I'm going to have him.
If her tongue was out.
People, come on, now stop it. People in the chat are going to be mad at me, but I have to have them remove the nips though, because I'm not putting it in the book like that. But
it's suggestive of how good this book could look.
You lousy.
Canon footage.
You should keep the nipples in there because it's cold in space.
Yeah,
that's true.
Actually, Shelly said that, and I was like, "Yeah."
See, hey, your wife is co-signing. You better.
Now you can blame Shelly if anybody gets in trouble.
She doesn't care, but I do. So anyway, we also have the ink art of Gary Martin, Brush with Destiny. This is still open as Gary completes the last couple of pieces. So even though we did a closeout stream, you guys can still fund this book. And I would highly suggest that you do so because there's some really great black and white brush and ink art in here.
And some original art to buy. Mm-hmm.
And there's art up here to buy. There's the Wonder Woman you can get, Gal Gadot. And then that
there's
chick. Yeah, that's one he showed earlier. So I think those are the two pieces left. Did Helen Slater get sold or did you take it down?
I took it down.
Okay. But anyway, so you have like a bunch of Gary's recreations, portraits of heroes and film and things like that. This is some really, really nice stuff. So you guys want to back that, you can do so in the following the link in the description of the video. That's on Fund My Comic, by the way. We also have another book on Fund My Comic by award winner, new talent.
Yeah. Get the new talent showcase that is Scribbles.
That's right. Here it is.
You get to see all behind the scenes of this young, talented professional. New professional.
A guy in his early
Kelsey
20s.
did all these hundreds of drawings when he was a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, this is getting wrapped up. I'm actually talking to Phil about distributing it, among other things, but he can't do it until the new year. So I'm wrapping everything up, getting all the original art out to people and getting everything ready to go. And then we're going to ship it out. We're excited to get that done.
All righty. So there you go. You guys can still back it. So again, link in the description of this very video that you're watching right now. Last but not least, let's see here. We got David Williams' Bass Reeves West of Hell. David, of course, is not publishing nor fulfilling. He's simply the artist and storyteller along with Kevin Grievous on this book. And we're told that they're going to get this, start shipping out in January. Or is it going to be at the printers in January, David? What were you last told?
I think it's shipping.
Shipping in January.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
you're not going to have much time to get behind this. So, and this looks really, really cool. You got the softcover wraparounds by David, and then the hardcover by Andrew Robinson, who was on this show, by the way.
David and award-winning colorist Kelsey Shannon, actually.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is one of those books that if you don't get it, your friends will be talking about it, and you'll like, oh man,
Why didn't I get that?
Exactly.
So there it is. So there's still time, but not much, as they say. So there you go, guys. Those are all of our campaigns. They're all linked in the description of this video. So we'd appreciate your support. And we also appreciate you guys showing up and being a part of this show. Some people say it's an award-winning show. It might be the most popular ensemble show on the internet. Who knows? But help us continue to grow despite our already substantial popularity by hitting the like and subscribe. And thank you for the super chats, guys. We couldn't do it without you. So we'll see you soon. Right back here next week on Graybeard's Studio.